A great evening ahead in the Marion Rose Motor Arena, the FST Grupa Brokerska Torun FIM Speedway Grand Prix of Poland, round 8 of the 8-round series. It's all about to conclude, and we will crown a world champion tonight. Will Bartosz Marslik be the first ever Pole to win more than one world title? It's in his hands, Kelvin Tatum.
Indeed it is, and he had to work very hard last night. He put himself under some pressure with that accident in his second ride, but managed to battle his way through to the final. We see the standings with a 8-point lead, the reigning champion over the 3-time former world champion Woofenden. Lindgren slipping up last night, just missing out on the final. I think after that, Janowski, Madsen and Doyle, they'll be battling to make sure they stay in the top 6. But tonight is about the nerve. Can they hold their nerve? Can Smarslik hold his nerve and retain his world championship?
A reminder of the scoring system from 16th to 9, and then when you get in these semi-finals, 9, 10, 11, 12, and the big gains then are the final. 2 points gap between the finalists, 2018, 16, 14, and another 2-point gap down to 5th place on the night. There are various permutations, of course, that we'll try our very best to guide you through as the course of the evening progresses.
Well, we've got the first 3 in the world and, of course, the top 6, and there are probably 4 riders vying for 2 spots in the top 6, 5th and 6th. Still a little open. Madsen on 79, Doyle 76, Vasilik 73, Saifutinov 72. Now, that could change if Doyle and Madsen maybe don't go quite as well as they would like. But this man, Emil Saifutinov, who hasn't had the campaign we were looking for, or he was looking for, has been improving the longer the championship has gone on. Zagar's in next year, so he's been nice and relaxed throughout. Iversen, well, his year, he has had a year to forget. Heat 2 is quite spectacular. Smarslik's in that. The top 3 in the world actually line up in heat number 2, so it will be very interesting to see how that goes. And Laguta coming off the outside for good measure.
Yeah, first race of the night coming up at the Marion Rose Motor Arena. It's a fantastic venue, busier crowd tonight as well.
I tell you what, I was just looking at the numbers, Nigel. There's a fantastic turnout this evening, and I'm sure the atmosphere is electric.
The 8th and final round of the World Championship is here then. Matsej Janowski going off the inside. Then it's Niels Christian Iversen off 2. Emil Saifutinov going off gate 3. And Matej Zagar going off the outside gate. Big night for Emil Saifutinov. He starts outside of the top 6. He would love to finish in the top 6 to book his place automatically for 2021. He's one of the most popular riders on the world stage. Smarslik watching on. I'll tell you what, Heat 2, if you've not got a programme in front of you, Lindgren, Smarslik, Woofenden, Laguta is Heat 2. That's up after this race.
Yeah, don't take your eyes off it. Here we go. Saifutinov has been improving the longer the series has gone on. Janowski also was riding well last night. Can he continue on? They've ripped up the outside of the track. I'm expecting fireworks right from the word go here tonight.
Yep, hopefully we're going to be in for a great night of speedway racing here now, and off from the start, first time of asking, Matsej Janowski in the red helmet colour, crowd roaring here, Iversen second, and now here comes Matej Zagar around the outside in the yellow helmet colour, riding quite beautifully here, out in the dirt, out in the drive, can he get there? Janowski holds a good line, and Saifutinov comes through into third, and Iversen just bumps the wheel and he's gone down.
He has indeed. That was a ruthless move there. Great battle out in front, no red light on yet. Yes, there is.
There is, yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't got up. That'll be interesting to see that again, to see exactly what caused Saifutinov to go down. Already you saw how much grip that Zagar generated by roaring around the outside. Let's have a watch this again. It's Iversen, Saifutinov, then Iversen chops to the inside. Yeah, tries to cover it and just gets caught out. I expect Saifutinov to be excluded, unfortunately.
Krista Gardell is our referee again. It's his final Grand Prix appearance tonight as referee, and he has a call to make in the opening race of the night.
It's not easy, but the thing is that Iversen was coming, wasn't he?
Yep, yeah. So confirmation that it's Niels Christian Iversen who's excluded in the first race of the night, and that's not the best of starts for Niels' 100th Grand Prix appearance, and Emil has another chance at it now.
I know that'll be a 50-50 call, but I feel for him a little bit. You know, he was kind of by him there, but and then sort of Emil was trying to cover it. He can't believe it. He didn't realise. He's only just seen it. He just can't believe it. And to be perfectly honest, I have some sympathy with him.
Yes, I do as well.
Emil actually tried to sort of cover it once Niels was already by him. When your luck's out, your luck's out. I'm sure he's furious about that. Quite clearly, you can see the body language. He's very frustrated, but
he's angry.
I can see Saifutinov runs wide. He does an automatic thing. He's come back past him, and Emil has tried to cover the move, and they've touched. Shame. Oh well.
It is, and as you say, when your luck's out, your luck's out. Niels had a nightmare.
He's gone back by him there.
Ooh.
And as Emil's tried to come back across, there's a bike in his way. It's a, you know, people will say it should go, that it's the right decision. In my opinion, it's the wrong one. But when your luck's out, your luck's out. And Saifutinov's had such a good fortune. Zagar immediately ran for the dirt, and it worked for him. Be interesting to see how that works out in Heat 2. But we have a slight delay now while we wait for Emil to get himself ready, and particularly the bike. He's okay, and the bike will need some adjustments, and Phil Morris, the race director, will allow a certain amount of time for it. But it has been a frustrating campaign for the Russian. Many people, including myself, fancied him to be world champion this year, build on that third place in the World Love from last year. But it hasn't materialised, and sooner or later they're going to have to figure it out, because he's one of the best riders not to be crowned world champion, that's for sure. Krista Gardell, who will retire from Grand Prix World Championship Speedway at the end of tonight.
Not the best of shots of Krista there. We
no,
saw
just
his hairstyle.
Just the top of his head.
Yes.
Yeah, not the most flattering angle. Maybe we needed a drone where it could just float up and actually see his face. Mind you, he's probably wearing a mask, so you won't see much of his face. Fantastic to see people in a Speedway stadium. There was a few people in last night, but just when they were panning around prior to the meeting starting, it looks like there's a very healthy crowd tonight. And I tell you what, having been there numerous times, as you have, Nige, when there's a good crowd in, this place rocks. And as soon as they get some Polish victories, heat wins, they really get behind their own. And I'm quite envious of the people in the stadium tonight. It'll be a terrific celebration of Speedway, that's for sure.
I'm envious of the fact that the Polish government allow fans in a stadium. And of course, Lublin has been confirmed for the Monster Energy FIM Speedway of Nations now in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah.
And the statement from the announcement of that is about how important the Lublin fans are. And much made of the influence of the Lublin fans and how they'll create a terrific atmosphere. So, Poland with fans in the stadium.
It does seem rather odd that we can't have anybody in stadiums, or limited numbers at the very least, at the very most, excuse me. Whereas in other parts of the world, COVID-19 doesn't appear to affect people quite as badly. And we are in very strange times indeed. So, heat number one. We're back up at tapes. Looks like Emil's changed his bike. We'll see that hopefully confirmed on the graphic when we see the lineup. But Janowski was battling hard initially with Zagar. He was on the inside. Rode well last night. If this man can find consistency at this level, he'll be a world champion, Janowski.
Yeah, he's off the inside gate. No rider off two. Niels Christian Iversen unlucky. Emil Saifutinov going off gate number 3 in white. And then off the outside in yellow, Mate Zagar is your lineup. 3 riders only for the first race of the night. The second time of asking. And Zagar was involved in some good moves early on in that staging of the race.
He rode well last night,
yes,
and then faded away. He should have made the semis, but didn't, although it was very tight. I mean, to miss out on the semi-finals with 9 points, I mean, that was tough, wasn't it? Here we go.
Yep, here we go then with heat number 1, restaging. Good start from Zagar off the outside gate. Janowski's got there from the inside run now, but once again, Mate Zagar will try that high line around the outside, and there's no room past Mate Janowski. He went close to the fence and closed the door there. No opportunity on that occasion for Mate Zagar. Mate Janowski holding the line. Second place, Zagar. Third is Emil Saifutinov in the 3-man race right now, and Janowski looking good early on.
Yeah, he looks lovely on the bike. He rides so well. Zagar put pressure on him initially, took that chance to find the grip, just didn't quite have the speed to slip by him down the back straight. And now that Janowski's dictating the race, he's able to utilise the fastest line. rides so very nicely. Emil, unfortunately, is just going to miss out here. He'll pick up a point, of course, because there's just 3 of them, but he would have wanted for more. Has been starting slowly in Grand Prix of late, that's for sure. Has then improved as the night's gone on. But for this man, Janowski, this is an ideal start.
A win for Maciej Janowski of Poland in the opening race of the night. All about getting up to the 9-point barrier, although a couple of boys did that last night and didn't
Maybe
make the
10.
7. Maybe need 10. Or in Freddie Lindgren's case in round 1, 7 did it. It's very, very strange.
Unbelievable, yeah.
Because that's when the points are allocated, when they finish their outings, whether it be a semi-final spot or a final spot. So whatever happens tonight,
Fast time.
we're going to get into the latter stages of this meeting before we know who the world champion is going to be. We expect it to be Smarslik, of course.
Well, if Smarslik makes the final, he's world champion.
Yes.
So that's a simple scenario. There are plenty more of them, but if he does make the final, if he finishes 4th, he can't be overtaken even if Woofenden wins it. Great start from the inside from Janowski, blocks the Zagar move, had to do that because that speed that you generate from the outside line, they've ripped it up. Look at that, the bike powering forward, and Zagar thought that he must have had half a chance of coming through there, and he was just denied that. And there you just see it, just rolls the throttle off, had to just slow up just briefly because there was somebody in his way, and that man was Janowski. So he starts nicely tonight.
Yeah, good ride from Magic, as he's known. And we move up to heat number 2, and what a lineup it is. The top 3 riders in the World Championship standings right now are alongside each other on the grid. Lindgren off 1, he's 3rd. Smarslik off 2, he's the leader. Woofenden off 3, he's the 2nd place rider right now. And then we have Artem Laguta, who won the first round of this series this year, 6 weeks ago in Wrocław. So it is quite a lineup here, heat number 2.
Indeed it is, and 2-2-2 Laguta. He could just about work his way into the top 6 if he has a really top night. He has plummeted down the order actually after winning the opening round, which is a great shame. I think the tyre issue has some significance there.
Yep, so he's currently, 8 points adrift of Jason Doyle, who's got that 6th spot.
Yeah, he's going to have a fabulous night, that's for sure.
And hope that Doyle doesn't. Yeah. So here we go, 2nd race of the night. Will we be crowning Bartosz Smarslik world champion for a 2nd successive season? No Polish rider has done that in the history of the sport. And here we have heat number 2. What a lineup. And there's no problem from the start for Smarslik there off gate 2. What can Lindgren do off the inside run? Smarslik has nailed it already. Now it's all about Woofenden outside in the drive. Is he going to go in the banking? He's going wide. He's trying to get the drive. Smarslik looks over his shoulder. Now Woofenden's going to try the inside run going into lap 2. But Smarslik's riding a nice tidy line here. It's Smarslik from Woofenden, from Lindgren, and Laguta is at the back.
Yeah, great start from the world champion. He hits the front off gate number 2. Woofenden riding lovely. Woofenden comes through. Now Smarslik repays the compliment. Back up there at it again. Nice, these two. Lindgren's in there. Oh my goodness, Lindgren's nearly wiped him out. Now Woofenden's up the inside. Now Freddie Lindgren hits the front. What a heat number 2. Fireworks have gone off here, mate.
What is going on? They are racing for the world title. Smarslik has gone from 1st to 3rd. Lindgren has charged his way through. Woofenden spotted an opportunity. He's 2nd right now. And that, to quote you, Mr. Tatum, is Speedway out of the top draw.
Proper Speedway heat number 2. Doesn't get any better than that. The top 3 in the world. Laying it down, Freddie Lindgren. Wow, that was fantastic from him. You've got to believe that the world champion Smarslik must have felt confident that he was going to win that race. Far from it.
Brilliant stuff. Lindgren, Woofenden, Smarslik, Laguta. The track looks absolutely perfect for good racing tonight. It looks like they have nailed the track setup right from the off tonight, and that's brilliant. And Lindgren, well, typical Freddie Lindgren, wasn't it? Superb.
Brilliant stuff. So again from the tapes, Bartosz makes a lovely start that gets the better of Freddie. Woofenden elects to go wide, which is the best place to go for him. Has no choice, actually. Has to allow the bike to run up the banking. There's grip there. But look at that. It's tight with the first corner with Freddie. But this is just the calm part of the race, folks. Because
this is the boring bit.
This is the boring bit. Because shortly it all comes alive. I mean, it really does. Now we see Woofenden just getting pinched off there by Schmarzlik, but all of a sudden Woofenden's bike was able to really hang in there and had a lot of speed. But Freddie Lingman was just able to pounce here. This was a great opportunist move from Freddie, where he goes from third to first, with Woofenden and Schmarzlik sort of concentrating on each other, and then Freddie coming through. That was a spectacular ride. He will be chuffed with that. He did not look like a winner, but he was in the right place at the right time.
What it does do, it puts the leader and the reigning champion on just 1 point from his opening ride.
Needs to make the final.
Lindgren will be happy, 3 points in the bag. Woofenden will be satisfied with 2 points in the bag. Schmarzlik now knows that he's got 4 rides left, but he's still got some work to do to make it through to the final. It's Frick off the inside here, winner last night. Jack Holder, the wild card, off 2. Jason Doyle off gate 3, and off the outside in yellow is Martin Vasilik. Now, who makes the Australian team for the Speedway of Nations?
These 3.
Well, there has to be an under-21 rider at reserve.
Oh,
of course.
Jarman Lidsley, yeah.
Jarman Lidsley. So, who do you put alongside each other? It's an interesting one, this, with 3 riders, all Australian here, going head-to-head, and Doyle has made a beauty of 3.
Doyle and Frick.
Yeah, brilliant ride from Jason Doyle in white to take the lead, with Max Frick in second spot. Watch out for Vasilik now, looking to try and clamp down Jack Holder, but a Holder who knows this track very well as a Torun rider, riding well, but Vasilik has come through for third. The lead is with Doyle. Watch out for Frick here! Oh, and now Doyle back on the inside run. Oh, we're at the back here. The battle is up top. Jason Doyle has got that lead. Frick in second.
I know.
Third place is Holder, and they're still at it.
Back. They're going for it out in front, swapping places for fun. Doyle coming on strong. Now Jack Holder's coming at Frick. Frick's beginning to work the outside, but he's going to have to ride a little bit more defensive than that, pushing Jason Doyle. Doyle out in front, a lap to go. The 3 odds is really going for it here.
Frick's not done yet.
Frick, oh no, he's not quite going to get through. They're very tight. Doyle should hang on from there.
Yeah, he should do, and this is a terrific ride as Doyle hunts down a top 6 spot. He's in the top 6 before tonight's meeting.
I'll tell you what,
that's a great race.
Frick was fast there though, Unite.
He was.
I think it was a smart ride from Jason Doyle to cover all the angles. I sensed that Frick was a little quicker there, just couldn't quite find his way through, but for Jason away from the tapes, fabulous speedway we're witnessing here right from the get-go. World Championship Speedway at its best. Given them the track, you see sensational action.
Doyle, Frick, Holder, Vasilik, your finishing order. All about trying to get through to the semi-finals. That's Doyle's target, to give himself a chance of clinging on to an automatic spot for next year. Mark Lemon, the Aussie team manager back home, I'm sure he's watching this behind the sofa and diving behind the sofa every time the Aussies get close to each other. And
I'm sure he's overjoyed. He's got at least three blokes going great guns.
Yeah, that's good.
And it's good stuff. But Martin Vasilik is the loser here, with Jack Holder coming through into third.
Great speedway.
It's a shame, because we actually missed a great overtake by Doyle to get back to the front. But nonetheless, here we see it now in the replays. Doyle was smart there with Frick coming through on the inside. He was able to time it beautifully to come back through and get the better of the winner from last night. Frick is riding well again, and he had speed. I tell you, Doyle had to ride very, very tidily here. It was not an easy win at all, and he'll be looking for a touch more speed as the evening progresses, but there's no doubt they entertained us, as did heat number 2. By golly, it's been a good speedway meeting already.
It was a nice ride, absolutely. Last night, it was a steady start for the first 8 heats, and I was underwhelmed for the first 8 races, but it just got better and better. But they're at it from the start tonight.
Well, because they've actually prepped the track like they did after 8 races last night.
Yeah, brilliant.
We're seeing the full potential of the Torun track.
Yeah, it's great. Antonio Lindback off the inside here. Could it be Antonio's last ever Grand Prix tonight? There is that possibility. Mikkel Mikkelsen goes off gate 2 in the blue helmet colour. Leon Madsen goes off 3. Leon currently 5th in the World Championship standings. And off the outside is Patrick Dudek in the yellow helmet. After this race, we'll have completed the first segment of 4 heats, where every rider will have had 1 programmed ride. I know Iversen won't have completed a ride, but it's still a programmed ride completed on the scorecard as an exclusion.
Race was underway, wasn't it? So, yeah, Dudek needs a good night. His Grand Prix career is under the spotlight. It'll be interesting to see if he'll be invited back. Mikkel Mikkelsen's another interesting case as well, because there's not going to be too many Danish riders in the top 6, that's for sure.
Yep, oh, a little bit of movement at the start, little nibble, yep, and Lindback has got the lead early on here. Mikkelsen is the man in blue, and now Madsen comes through. Madsen tries the inside run. He's got Speedley on Madsen. He's now past Mikkelsen. Patrick Dudek at the back. Here comes Madsen challenging Lindback. Lindback holds on. Madsen, he will try every way he can here to pass Antonio Lindback. Good race developing again. Heat number 4.
Yeah, nice start from Antonio Lindback. Quite possibly his best ride of the year in the Grand Prix. He's hit the front. He hasn't been in front very many times. Leon Madsen's very quick.
Dudek's come through.
Dudek not quite coming through. He'll come through now, though. Should do, because Mikkelsen's all over the place. No, still not there. What's going on with Patrick? Just not fast enough this year. Leon Madsen's working overtime. He wants to win this race. Will he do it now? No, not quite. Antonio Lindback hanging on out in front. Leon Madsen coming at him hard. Can he pass him?
Into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. This is a great ride by Antonio Lindback. He really has worked overtime there to see off Leon Madsen.
Good ride. That's nice.
That's what Lindback's capable of.
Yeah.
And that's what must frustrate him about his Grand Prix campaign this season, because Antonio Lindback is a terrific speedway rider, and we've just seen it there. Nice ride, Antonio Lindback.
Absolutely right, and delighted to see him winning a race. It quite possibly could be his last outing as a Grand Prix rider, but he picks up a nice win there.
Yep, Lindback the winner, Madsen second, Mikkelsen third, and overall now we have Lindgren, Janowski, Doyle and Lindback as race winners. Smarslik 1 point. So 4 heats gone, and we've seen some great stuff already, Kelv.
Yeah, heats 2 and 3 were just superb. Heat 2 was just sensational between the top 3 lads. We see it again, the inside gate again proving to be advantageous, and Antonio Lindback was able to take full advantage. Leon Madsen coming nicely through into second place, and I thought for a long time here it looked like Antonio was going to be up for the taking here. But fair play to Antonio Lindback. He stuck to his guns here. He rode the slightly wider line, but he had the faith, and he just had the speed to keep Leon Madsen at bay, and that will give him a bit of a boost after a disappointing campaign. But I don't think we're going to see too much more of him at this level, but hopefully he'll go out with a big performance tonight. Yeah, you can see what that meant to him. It's been a frustrating time for him.
Well, you've got to ask the question, is it the end of Lindback's Grand Prix career? Is it the end of Iverson's Grand Prix career? You know, there could be the end of an era for riders here tonight, but new riders, younger riders, ready to burst onto the scene, like Max Frick.
Well, Max, coming off the back of last night, you still must be buzzing, but 3 Aussies, 1 heat. You just showed us how exciting Speedway of Nations is going to be.
That was very exciting. You know, it's great to be out there racing with Jason and Jack, so... you know, 2 points in the first heat is really good. It's a good start, and hopefully I can build from there and keep getting as many points as I can and lead towards that semi.
Okay, sorry to butt in just there. Tell me what the track's like out there.
The track's really nice. It's pretty similar to yesterday, so hopefully as the night goes on there'll be a few more lines and some really good racing.
And you must still be buzzing from yesterday.
Yeah, still, I don't know if it's exactly sunk in yet, but you know, I'm really excited for last night, and hopefully I can have another strong performance today.
Amazing. Thanks, Max.
Thank you.
Love his attitude. You know, it's easy just to switch off after such a huge achievement like last night, but I tell you what, he came out firing there in heat number 3 and put on a great show. And I think he actually had, my opinion was that he was quicker than Doyle, just Doyle rode a slightly better line, and I expect him to be able to build on his 2 points in his opening ride.
Well, Ty, we said let the battle commence. My goodness me, what a heat to start us off.
Yeah, for sure. You know, that's what happens when you get the best 3 guys in the world go at each other.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I was just asking Max about the track, but tell me what you were making of the gates. Again, it was the red gate that started us off well.
Yeah, it's always like that on most tracks. It's the shortest distance to the first corner. So if you like got a measuring wheel and measured from the line to the curb where the corner starts, and then did it from gate 4, it's probably like 3 or 4 meters, depending on which track you go to. But anyway, gate 4 looks like it's got a bit of dirt on it. Gate 3 a little bit less. Gate 2 looks pretty slick. Gate 1 looks pretty slick. But you got to make it off all of them if you want to be the champ.
Okay, well, we were talking about that very question earlier. Can you do this?
Yeah, for sure. You know, if for instance, if I won the GP and Smarslik was in 5th, I think it's a runoff. You know, but then you got Lindgren chasing the silver or even a gold. So it's going to be tight, but we'll just keep throwing the kitchen sink at it and see how we go.
Keep it going, Ty. Thanks.
Well, I tell you what, they threw the kitchen sink at each other, didn't they, in heat number 2? It really was quite exciting.
Brilliant,
Nige.
yeah.
And Freddie Lindgren came through, and quite clearly he hasn't given up. None of them have. A slightly disappointing ride for Schmarzlik, having led the race. It always is. If you've led the race and ended up 3rd, you're not going to be happy about that. But he's got 4 more opportunities to make sure he makes his way. Tonight is all about, for me, and my opinion would be, my objective, make the final.
Yes.
You've got to make the final, and then it doesn't care what anything else happens, and he is capable of that. He's made 5 finals this year, so I'm expecting him to do it. It would be quite an upset if he doesn't, but for Bartosz Schmarzlik, only 2 other riders have managed to go back-to-back in the Grand Prix to retain their titles. One was a certain Mr. Rickardson, and Nicky Pedersen being the others. So it's not an easy task to do. Ty Wolfenden hasn't managed it. Greg Hancock didn't quite manage to do it. So it is quite an achievement. And when you consider, if he does do it, and it's still an if, of course, with this new point scoring system, I actually think it's been really difficult, because at times, well, we know with the old point scoring system, he would have a much bigger lead.
16 points.
16 points.
At the start of tonight.
At the start of tonight. So, you know, it'd still be probably 15 now. So you've got to believe that, you know, there's a bit of added pressure on him as a consequence of that. You know, guys can stay in the championship by not necessarily winning with this scoring format. So be interesting to see how it pans out.
What's he thinking, Niels, now? I mean,
oh,
he's going to be absolutely furious. And
well, we know him. He's a smashing lad. He's had some wonderful moments in Grand Prix and World Cups. He's won Grand Prix and World Cups. But I hope that the best is not behind him.
Yes.
Because in the last couple of years, he's found it difficult to perform at this level, hasn't he? So
his 100th Grand Prix tonight could be his last.
Yeah, well, prior to last night, every time he'd ridden it, he'd made the final.
Yes.
So he had a great history coming here, great CV. So, yeah, he started with that exclusion. So it's. I think he just needs something. You know, he needs a win or two just to give himself a little bit more faith in the sport. Freddie Lindgren ready.
He's in the next heat.
And he's getting up. Jason Doyle a winner as well. Janowski a winner. So 3 race winners coming out in heat number 5.
Yeah, decent lineup for heat number 5, that's for sure. The water's going down now. I noticed last night Phil Morris was telling them to just end the watering, I think, after 1 lap, because the humidity in the surface at this time of year comes into play.
You don't need much water this time of year.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Soon be Christmas.
Yeah, and if we're allowed a Christmas.
Well, in Poland, by the looks of it.
Well, mate, everything's normal there. But it is quite remarkable how, you know, you've got to be careful with watering this time of year, because you get that nip in the air and it doesn't evaporate and it gets greasy and tricky. So it is quite a balancing act. Janowski looked good. He's out of gate number 2. He got the number 1 draw, so he'll be out every time after the track grade. So no, be interesting to see. Don't actually agree with this much water going on now. I think that's not necessary, but we shall see. Schmarzlik there just having a chat with his compatriot, mates, of course. Guys get on pretty good, you know, now. There's the occasional flare-up when they run into each other and they get a little bit...
Madsen and Doyle.
Madsen and Doyle, there's a bit of an exchange, but generally the boys are all pretty friendly with one another. They travel together and they move around the countries. Well, not so much, quite so much, obviously, this year.
Not this year.
No, because obviously there's only been a couple of leagues running, Sweden and Poland.
Yep, so the boys...
What do we think about Dudek, just before we get going again, Nige?
I can't answer it. You know, what we saw in 2017 was a genuine world-class rider. He's had his injury problems this year, but, you know, he was a genuine type. He could have been world champion 3 years ago. Yeah. And now he's just inconsistent, and, you know, it must be infuriating for Papa Dudek, trying to get to the bottom of why his boy isn't the rider he was, because he isn't.
I would be surprised if they put him back in.
Yeah.
I think he's capable, but I think there might be 1 or 2 other riders around that may deserve to be picked. 'picked. So there are 5 permanent picks coming up, so it'll be interesting to see which way it goes. But Heat number 5, not too far away. It's been exciting stuff already.
Some picks, sorry to interrupt, Carl, some picks could obviously be influenced by where we're going next year. And we don't know the calendar at this stage, although the organisers probably do.
I think that Russia certainly will have an influence on that. If we're going to Russia, there's going to be 2 Russians, isn't it?
You'd like to think so, yeah. And we know that Ty Woffinden and Robert Lambert will have 2 Brits. So
yeah, that's great news.
That's good news, and a 3rd with the wild card at Cardiff.
Yeah,
so.
which is super duper.
Yeah. Heat 5 coming up. So heat number 5, we're into the second round of heats here in Torun now, and it's Patrick Dudek off the inside. No points to his name. Then 3 race winners, Matt Zajanowski, Freddie Lindgren, who's still in the title hunt, remember, and Jason Doyle, who is looking to book his place in the top 6 for next year and an automatic spot in the 2021 series. So quite a lineup again. There's a lot riding in many of the races, but of course, I did say right at the top of the show, we'll do our very, very best to update you on the permutations. But in all reality, because of the way the scoring system is right now, we can't call anything until much later in the evening.
Well, really, you've got to wait until all the qualifying races are done. And then you'll see the bottom 8 will then be allocated their points, and we can work it out from there. But the top 8, of course, we'll have to wait until the semi-finals and the finals are completed. Obviously, if Bartosz Zmarzlik makes the final, he will be world champion because he can't be beaten from there. Here we go, heat number 5.
8-point cushion, very handy. Right, heat number 5. Let's see what emerges here with Chris de Gardel with his finger on the button. The boys await the green light, and they're away. And it's a great start from Janowski off gate number 2. Now Dudek on the inside run, looking to challenge Janowski. Watch out for Doyle now, who goes wide. Lindgren's still in the frame as well. Lindgren comes high and wide. Doyle's trying the inside run. Lindgren's trying the outside, and it's worked nicely. Lindgren has gone through into 2nd place, and that's superbly worked. The lead is with Janowski. I'd be surprised if he's passed from there. 2nd place Lindgren, 3rd Dudek, and here comes Doyle having a go at Dudek now.
Yeah, track's been overwatered. You can see that the boys are absolutely covered in shale in 2nd, 3rd and 4th, and that'll be frustrating for Doyle because he's tailed off after winning his race so well. It's been a bonus for Janowski. He got away, and that's allowed him to clear off in front. Freddie did nicely to get the better of Dudek, and he's stamping his authority on 2nd place. Doyle's now being tailed off in 4th place, and that is a blow for him. And he'll be really but a super ride from Janowski. That's a lovely ride.
Matt Zajanowski takes a checkered flag in heat number 5 then, and that continues his great work. 2 rides and 2 wins for the Polish rider right now. 4th in the World Championship before tonight, but 14 points behind 3rd place Freddie Lindgren. Quick time, 58.89 for Matt Zajanowski. Looked really good from start to finish there, and I'm pleased to report that I was correct by saying can't see him being passed from there, because I have been proved wrong in commentary before when I've said there's no way he'll be passed from there.
Yes.
Greg Hancock being one such person who was passed. Anyway, there we are. And like you say,
Look,
Doyle as well.
You've had counselling for it, just leave it there.
Yeah.
Right, tapes are up, and it's a fabulous start from Matt Zajanowski. He comes charging out of gate 2 and dominates proceedings. Freddie Lindgren, they're just alongside him. Doyle up on the outside, just can't land a blow this time, just finds himself stuck on the inside. Janowski absolutely roars away on the opening lap, and it's really got a nice, comfortable lead. Freddie gets the better of Dudek by coming round the outside. Doyle coming into the picture there, but can't land a blow, and it's a frustrating ride for the Australian. Needs to do some more work, but Freddie just coming through and pulling the roll off at the same time. He just saw his left hand come up to his goggle. He was just pulling his roll off, but a lovely ride from that man, unbeaten so far. He's having a good night. He rode well last night as well, I must say, so he's building on that.
Yep, and nice and clean. Matt Zajanowski.
I tell you, the other 3 weren't.
The other 3 weren't. As like you quite rightly pointed out, Freddie changing his tail, pulling his tear off. And
well, it's actually a roll-off system he uses, like a
yeah.
toggle, and you pull it, and there's a stream of film that you pull across the front of the goggle lens. Handy.
Mikkelsen, Frick, Iversen and Woffenden off the outside. Remember the old days when the riders just had tear-offs, and I used to go on the track after a meeting and try and pick them up off the track and
yeah, there were all sorts
get them autographed.
Yeah, exactly, all sorts of contraptions to actually move them up and down as well. It was fantastic.
Well, back in the 70s, it was bulldog clips on the
yeah,
peak.
well, no dirt deflectors then.
No.
Of course, lots of dirt, so it was flying everywhere. Here we
I
go.
remember getting Ivan Majors once and getting him to sign it at Hull. Brilliant.
Fantastic.
Right, heat number 6, here we go. And
You're quite sad, aren't
yes,
you?
I am, yeah, and I've never changed from the age of 6. Woffenden, big night for that man off the outside in the yellow helmet colour. This is a big heat, heat number 6. It didn't work for Doyle Gate 4 last time, and now Mikkelsen's got there. Woffenden now trying to sweep around the outside down the back straight. He's coming around the outside of Mikkelsen. That's a super ride from Ty Woffenden. Oh, he's on form tonight, all right. Pressure on Smarslik. He knows the world title race is far from done yet, and here comes Frick up the inside as well, challenging Mikkelsen. But Kelv, Ty Woffenden, absolutely brilliant away from Gate 4 in the end there.
Yeah, he was. He just used that outside run, and he was able to utilise it, and he got the better of the opposition. Riders are just finding it a little bit. Once you hit the front, you can get away, because the track is a little bit greasy in this first couple of rides after the break. And you see that here, you know, got a rider got away where he can pick his way, and he'll be really fast. But Frick's coming on strong. He's just going to slip through here on the inside. I tell you what.
He could go.
It could go for that if there's consistency.
Yep, and
Might
the race
well go.
The race continues to the checkered flag.
So, no exclusion then.
So there we are.
No exclusion.
Yep, Krista Gardell had a good view of that, of course. The referee's box here is very high over the start-finish line, and you get a perfect view of the bends. It's like a panoramic view. You are high above the bends, and Krista Gardell would have had a good view of that incident. Here we see it again. Frick chops up the inside.
There's contact there, obviously. The dirt deflector clipping his front wheel. And the last time that happened, Niels Christian Iversen was thrown out.
Yeah.
It was an almost identical situation. And Mikkelsen's gone down.
Could he have stayed on the bike? Is a dirt deflector enough to force you to fall?
At that particular point, yeah.
Is
there
it?
now,
Okay.
You're very vulnerable now.
About to your better judgment.
You're balancing on the tyres now, and a clip there on the front. It's greasy as well, so you know it's gone down. So has he? Be interesting to see. There was no exclusion before the race completed.
No, but we are still awaiting confirmation of the verdict. That has not been relayed to the. That is not. Okay. So the result is now confirmed. Mikkelsen not happy with it, and the Dane's not having the best of nights when it comes to refereeing decisions tonight. The result stands as Woffenden and Frick in second place, Niels Christian Iversen in third place, and Mikkelsen. Well, there's a last place by his name, but it means that he did not finish. DNF did not finish. So, bit of drama in heat number 6.
Woffenden, this is a great start to tonight. Second place in that showdown in heat number 2 with the top 3 in the world. Comes off that banking, looking good. He looks hungry tonight, Woffenden. Looks like he really wants it. And he's going to apply as much pressure as he possibly can on Bartosz Smarslik, make him earn it. Here we see the battle for second and third with Frick not quite able to come through there, but a little later on he does, and clips the front of Mikkelsen. Now, whether that's right or wrong, the fact is when that happened previously, Niels Christian Iversen was actually taken out of the race, and it didn't work. It worked the opposite way round this time, so a little bit of inconsistency there. But for 5 points out of 2 rides for Ty Woffenden, you've got to believe that he's in the mood. And this man now, who probably was a touch disappointed after going from first to third in heat number 2, needs to just settle himself down with a heat win here. But he's got Antonio Limbach, who won quite nicely first time out. Emil Saifutinov, who actually rode okay, picked up a point, but certainly on paper I would expect Smarslik to win this one.
Yep, so it's Holder off the inside, the wild card, of course, Antonio Limbach off 2, Smarslik off 3, and Saifutinov off the outside gate. Smarslik will have seen Woffenden there, claim victory. Woffenden with 5 points from 2 rides, well on his way, you would think, to a semi-final spot with 3 races for him still to go. And that's all he can do. He can only take care of his own performance and hope that that does the job for him. Meanwhile, Smarslik in white here. Let's see if your prediction comes correct here, Cal. The world champion himself off gate number 3. Good start from Jack Holder, but Smarslik's looking good here. Yeah. Smarslik gets the drop going into that first and second turn, and he glides clear down the back straight. Watch out for Saifutinov here in yellow as well. He's got some speed. Holder is third, and Antonio Limbach at the back. Smarslik looking good, but Saifutinov's on the pace. He's trying the inside run. He's keeping Bartosz Smarslik on his toes here.
He is indeed. He got a little bit tired as they completed the first lap. The Russian rocket coming up the inside. Another lovely run to the first corner from gate 3. Didn't look like he'd made it. It looked like Holder had made it, but that last couple of metres he just about got there. Smarslik needs to experiment with running in the dirt a little bit here. He's riding quite a conservative line on the inside. He's hanging on in there, and 3 points here will settle him down very nicely indeed. Antonio Limbach is going from hero to zero here. He's out the back, but for Bartosz Smarslik, he's stretching his legs nicely. A handy win for the championship leader.
Yep, 4 points from 2 rides. That's better for Smarslik. Any nerves might just be calmed down there. That was superb from the reigning world champion Bartosz Smarslik.
Fans love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's plenty of fans in the stadium.
Yeah, great to see. Great to see, and certainly that will do him the world of good after getting beaten up in his first ride. And he doesn't often get beaten up, Bartosz Smarslik. Normally he's the one dishing it out. But this time, a clean pair of heels to the opposition.
Smarslik, Saifutinov, Holder, Limbach, your finishing order there. So Bartosz moves on to 4 points now from 2 rides. Janowski, Lindgren, Woffen and Smarslik, so the top 3 in the world. In fact, the top 4 in the world standings before tonight are all in the top 4 of tonight's meeting so far.
They are indeed, and you know, this guy shows good character. He showed it last night when he won Heat 18 when he was under a lot of pressure, and that meant he kept himself in the semi-finals, and ultimately he made the final. Saifutinov is threatening here early doors when he comes roaring down the back straight off the banking, but doesn't quite have enough speed. Bartosz trusts himself, you know, he rides quite tight, and I thought for a moment that might be a vulnerable place to be, but he does make it work because Emil's right there. You can see he's tucked right in behind him, and young Jack as well. He certainly gets involved. He's enjoying himself, but for that man, well, I don't think these are nights that you genuinely enjoy. I think this is he needs a job to be done to make sure he gets himself over the line.
I think he's got enough in the tank. I think there's plenty in the tank for Smarslik yet. I think he's still got it well and truly in his control.
Nervous. He'll be nervous.
Yeah, I'm sure he will, with an 8-point lead.
We saw last night, he got off the back of the bike. He threw it away. Anything could happen, mate.
You think I'm being too flippant then?
Very much so. Yeah, I tell you, it's not
just giving you my opinion, that's all.
Not done until it's done.
Just giving you my opinion.
I'm disagreeing with it.
But I think there's plenty left in the tank for Smarslik. I think he'll be okay.
I hope he is, because he's ridden so well.
I don't want Ty to win.
Well, I hope it is for his sake. I hope it is for his sake. But the fact is that, you know, we saw last night when he fell off, I mean, he could have got ridden over and the night could have been done, and it could be a very different story. But he's bounced back in fine style there. We had a bit of an argument there, didn't we?
Not for the first time. Right, and it won't be the last either, by the way.
No, there'll be another one tonight, I'm sure.
Heat number 8, here we go. And away from the start, that's a decent one from Zegar on the inside. And gate 3, Martin Vasilek off the third gate position there, blasts around the outside. And watch out for Madsen charging up the inside here in yellow. Whoa. He could have caused some problems there, but everybody stays on the bike. Laguta is in second spot right now, but the lead here is with Martin Vasilek, who started tonight 3 points behind Jason Doyle in the World Championship standings with a view to next year's qualifying.
This will do him very nicely, but Laguta's quicker, and Laguta, sweet as alike, has chopped up the inside and passed and hit the front. Can Vasilek do anything about that? No, I don't think he can, because Artem looks really quick. Leon Madsen's back in third place, missed the start from the outside. Can he do anything about Martin Vasilek, who's working overtime once again? But Artem Laguta, this is handy. Very useful points for him, and he looks like a winner from there for me.
Yep, absolutely. Riding nicely here, Artem Laguta. 8 points behind Doyle in the top 6 battle right now. That's a handy result for Artem Laguta, and he worked hard there, didn't he? And Vasilek will be disappointed.
Yeah.
And that's happened all too often, because he started the Polish Extraliga in fine form, Martin, as I recall, back in was it June they started in the Extra Liga?
Yeah, it was June,
And
yes.
Martin started really well, didn't he? And when we approached the Grand Prix in late August, we were talking about Vasilik as a potential contender for the title, and it's just not happened for Martin. So there we are. Artem Laguta the winner, with Martin Vasilik second, Leon Madsen third, and Matej Zegar at the back on that occasion. Just a quick look at the standings then. That's how it looks after 2 races each.
Well, a lovely way to bounce back after a disappointing opening ride for Laguta. Failed to score first time, but this time he really did look the business, actually, and rode very nicely. Zegar, who starts well but fades away, and that'll be frustrating for him. He didn't finish the race, actually. Well, if he did, he certainly had an issue with the bike. Martin Vasilik, who, as you rightly say, Nigel, he was out in front, will be frustrated to being overtaken. But Artem Laguta, if they did make some changes, they made the right ones, because he had plenty of speed there, and so he's giving us the thumbs up. So, yeah, a good way to bounce back. He's got gate 1 as well. He'll enjoy that. He needs a big night. You know, it's a long shot for him to make the top 6, so he's going to be looking at potentially a pick, and, you know, he needs to ride well at this last Grand Prix to make sure that the authorities look kindly upon them. They've got 5 permanent picks that are available.
Yes, indeed. It's going to be fascinating to see how that works out. Now we've had 8 races, 12 more qualifying races that are going to be absolutely fascinating.
Oh, they are indeed.
And the good thing is, Kelv, Smarslik, Woofenden and Lindgren are all on it. So that's great for the title race, isn't it?
It is indeed, although Smarslik, also Woofenden, will probably need Smarslik to slip up again if he is going to win the championship tonight, but all he can do is just keep the pressure on, which he's done, and so has Freddie. Freddie certainly meant business in his opening ride, but they've all given themselves a very good base to work from after 2 rides.
Yes, so heat 9, Woofenden is off gate 1 with Madsen, Janowski and Jack Holder. So
Janowski's looking good. He's unbeaten so far, so he's the danger man for Woofenden there. Be interesting to see what happens. Good crowd. I can't believe how many people are in the stadium. That's fantastic. I'm sure the atmosphere is terrific, and people are enjoying it. We could hear when Smarslik and Janowski have won races, they really get behind their own, and they are very patriotic indeed, the Poles. So, no,
I think it's great to see.
A good start to the night.
They have decided that they are happy to go to a stadium. Let's hear from Jason Doyle.
Okay, Jason, 1 good heat, 1 not so great heat. What changed between the 2 heats?
Yeah, we changed the bike a fair bit in our second ride to try to tame it down a little bit. It was over spinning everywhere, and we killed it too much and had no power. But that's my mistake. We go back again and we'll see how we go.
Okay, back out there again. You've got 2 red gates. Although you did win off a white gate, red gates really are sort of working tonight.
Yeah, we got to get off them all. If you start picking which gates you get better off, then you're not going to get the points. So we'll just get some more points and we'll go from there. What
are you making of the track?
Yeah, it's all right. It's a track, it's a speedway track. It's always good racing. It's there's a lot of lines here, and you're always vulnerable. It doesn't matter if you're in front or behind. There's always a way to pass.
All right, keep it going. Thanks, Jason.
Cheers. Trying to stay positive, and the changes didn't work, did they?
No, they probably went too far. Because actually he won, and he won his first ride, and then they've made some significant changes and gone backwards. Woofenden looks really intent tonight. I like that, and he's certainly chatting hard there with Jacko, just keeping an eye on the way the track's working out, where to ride, where not to ride. Very important after the track grade, of course. The most important thing for me is how much, at this time of year in particular, how much water goes on, because it doesn't evaporate very quickly, and it can be a little greasy. And for Ty coming off the inside, he will be vulnerable to people coming round. We've seen it already, coming off that second corner with that swoop down the back straight. So certainly an in-depth chat about the technique and the strategy for heat number 9.
Yeah, and he's had that pit crew for quite a while now. In fact, Jacko was with him in his first title in 2013. One man missing, of course, Peter Adams, who is back at his Shifnal base in the UK and hasn't been travelling to the SGP this year. But Peter Adams is certainly the man with a Midas touch when it comes to working with world champions as well down the years. So Jack Holder watching track grade and intently just trying to work out the best way perhaps after track conditions. A couple of beers for the boys.
You know, you wouldn't think there was a pandemic on here, would you?
No.
You just would not.
I'm jealous.
I am very envious. You know, when you look at all the doom and gloom back in Britain, I mean, crikey, this looks like they've got 75% of the crowd in.
Well, these people have decided that despite the coronavirus, they are happy to go to an outside sporting arena. Is it not time for the British public to be allowed that choice? I don't know. I don't know. I'm no scientist. I'm no politician. I'm no government expert.
How can you have such a difference of opinion? It doesn't just affect us, it affects the Poles as well.
Yeah.
Very strange. Anyway, Maciej Janowski's having a great night. We're having an extended track raid here. Riders have been ready for a little while. Water going down again. That will make it greasy because it's cold. But nonetheless, riders just keeping an eye on that.
It's a bit chilly in this commentary box. We've got the air conditioning on. Doesn't help by the fact that I've got my winter shorts on, though, as well. But,
I didn't realise there was such a thing as winter shorts.
Air conditioning?
I thought.
Well, shorts.
Shorts were for the summer.
But air conditioning in October. Glad I got my jumper on. But anyway, Phil Morris having a chat with the riders. Ty Woffinden asking questions. Is he asking us, what's this water all about? I just wonder. Yeah. But, yeah, so Ty off gate 1 in heat number 9 with Madsen, Janowski and Holder. Can Ty get there from the inside gate?
Well, the key thing now for him is he'll be vulnerable coming off the corner. And they didn't do this last night, so I'm not quite sure why they're doing it this evening. Last night, I thought the track was absolutely spot on.
Well, penny for the thoughts of Mr. Woffinden there as he spoke to Phil Morris, the race director.
Do you know, I think there was some concern in his face.
I'd love to know what was said. I really would. So can Ty make gate 1 count? Will it be Madsen off 2? Will it be Janowski, who's ridden beautifully so far? He's
a danger man for Woffinden here for sure, because he's going to be able to get on that dirt. He did a very fast time last time out. The first rider to go into the 58 seconds. And he was, once he got away, he was able to dictate exactly where he wanted to be, and he was quick, very quick indeed.
How's Holder done this weekend generally? Could have done better, could have done worse?
Well, he could definitely have done worse.
Middle of the range, would you say?
I think he's done probably okay.
Yeah.
I think last night he showed some nerves. He was in the thick of the action right from the word go, but it is a big step up.
It certainly is. So, big race again, heat number 9 on the night. We will crown a world champion in Torun. And heat number 9 as we start our third batch of races is on the way. Heat number 9 it is then. Ty Woffinden going off the inside on 5 points so far out of a possible 6. Leon Madsen with 3 to his name off 2. Janowski off gate 3, unbeaten 6 out of 6. Brilliant performance. And Jack Holder, the wild card, couple of points to his name so far in this Torun Grand Prix. Round 8, the final round of the series.
Jacko's nervous. See him big blowing his hair out. These boys are really feeling it. They won another world championship, that's for sure.
He's like a football manager pacing up and down the touchline, isn't he?
That's a good scenario. Yeah, absolutely right. This man is flying tonight. His teammate Janowski, of course. He's a danger man. Madsen, if he gets away, hasn't been starting that well, Madsen, so far this evening. But if he makes a start, he's very quick and a difficult man to overtake. So keep your eyes on gate number 2 as well. Strong line up here. World number 2, not for much longer, but won 7 races here last year, of course, and Bartosz Marslik only actually won the championship by 2 points in the end. It was quite a tight last night, that's for sure. Woffinden on the inside, pressure on here. Interesting to see how it works out for him.
Needs to make the start. Fresh track grade. new track, heat number 9. Woofenden off the inside gate, hunting down a 4th world title, and Madsen's made a beauty, but Woofenden's got there. Oh, Janowski's gone down in the first turn.
All 4 back.
That'll be all 4 straight away, yeah. Pretty confident of that.
Yeah.
Just no room, was there, in the end?
Well, Woofenden's gone straight as well, and Leon Madsen was alongside him, and just a classic all 4 back, I would think.
Yes. Let's hope the Magic's okay after that incident. First turn incident after the grading break, so quite a substantial amount of time between heats 8 and 9 being completed now because of this. And Magic's still down. Let's hope he's going to be okay. Awkward landing, but let's hope he's going to be okay. We await the verdict of Christy Gardell, our referee. All 4 is the easy option here, and he's up and about, which is great to see. No problems, he'll be okay. That's good.
Yeah, it's probably just a bit awkward in the air fence. We see it now. Leon Madsen just comes there. Woofenden lets the bike run, and as a consequence, the domino effect. And Janowski's left with nowhere to go. You watch Ty. Ty allows the bike to run wider there. You look, he hasn't turned as hard as he could have done, because he was certainly looking for the dirt. We're hearing it will be a
yes, confirmed.
All 4 back, which is the right call. And a little bit untidy from Madsen, but Ty comes in there, and it's just concertina's up. Jack Holder would have actually benefited big time, because he was going to do the big turn back.
Madsen made a terrific start there, Kelvin. Ty gained ground quickly, didn't he? Going
because Madsen got untidy halfway to the corner.
There you go, yeah.
Yeah.
Just ran out of room, Magic. Had to bail out. But as I say, in this situation, I don't think anybody will argue about the all 4 decision. Magic walking back and back on his bike shortly.
I know that Woofenden is concerned. If he wasn't, he would have turned hard and gone right round the inside, and that incident wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Because he's concerned about conditions. You can see the state of Magic. He's covered in shale. I keep saying it, but I don't understand why they put so much water on it. It's slippery. And the bike's taking
the mess of the bike.
Yeah, the bike's taking quite a beating there.
Get the jet wash out, boys.
But they want that bike.
Yes.
They want that bike because it's fast. That's Rafa. I can't remember his surname, but Greg Hancock will, because he worked for Greg for about 20 years.
Yes.
So a very experienced mechanic.
Behind every successful rider is a settled pit crew and a loyal pit crew. So, yeah.
Looks like some dignitaries in there. Looks like there's some politicians in the crowd. Wouldn't have surprised me if the president turns up, you know. Obviously, what is that, president or prime minister? I think it's the prime minister in Poland, actually. So it'd be interesting to see if he turns up.
Ask me one on Speedway. I haven't got a clue.
Often he does. Do you know what party's in power in Poland? No idea. No, you're no good.
No.
But Janowski...
Do they have parties?
I think they do.
Right.
Yeah, they're allowed parties. They're allowed people in stadiums. Crikey.
What, gatherings of more than 6?
I think so. Well, there's certainly more than 6 in a stadium, that's for sure.
Fans enjoying themselves, to be fair. You know,
That's good.
It's developed into a good Speedway meeting right from the start, this. And, of course, the World Championship is going to be decided. It's
yeah, the real drama is yet to come, of course. We're just building up to that. See Woofenden there. I know why Woofenden's doing that. He's worried about that the track's slick on the inside, and he doesn't want to be left vulnerable coming off the first corner, so he allowed the bike to run a little wider.
Did he do anything wrong there, or is that just racing?
He had the right to do it, but
sure,
it's just a Speedway incident.
Yeah. This is a great shot. That's a great shot. Thankfully, nothing too dramatic for Matt Janowski. Apart from hitting the air fence like that, which can't be too comfortable, but no lasting damage.
No.
Pretty sure the 2 minutes will go on very shortly as well. Well, we're still waiting for the 2 minute clock. It's just gone on. 2 minute time allowance is on. And, yep, a filthy night for Matt Janowski after that spill in heat number 9 from gate number 3. And it'd be interesting to see if Woofenden can make a better start this time around.
Well, he made a good start, Nige. He was actually just about hit the front. It was just because he allowed the bike to run a little bit wider than he ordinarily would have done. And that caused that problem in the first corner. So he's just got to reproduce what he did first time. It's going to be very difficult for him to be a bike length clear and then run up the banking. He is concerned about being vulnerable to Janowski coming off the first corner because he knows how fast his teammate is.
And Raf in Magic's pit crew is Raphael High.
Oh, there you go.
Spelled H-A-J.
Yeah, Raphael High is a man
Raphael
who's been
High.
around a long time.
Yes.
And he runs a speedway business which is just based outside Wrocław.
Yep.
And he's been in the Janowski team this season.
And on the picture of dignitaries we saw, Zibi Boniek, a former Polish footballer, has legendary status in the Polish game, and he's now head of the Polish Football Association.
Oh, so he was a dignitary.
So we do have dignitaries, yes.
He was a dignitary, but he wasn't a politician, but almost...
Not the Prime Minister.
As good as. But the Prime Minister hasn't turned up yet. He'll probably fly in for the final.
Ty Wofferden then, Leon Madsen, Mats Janowski and Jack Holder of the outside in yellow. And good lineup, cracking lineup. Can Ty make the start a little bit better this time? Because I thought Madsen was immaculate, the way he dropped the clutch there.
Well, he made a good start, but he was untidy to the first corner.
Immaculate in terms of the start that he made.
The reaction, yeah, the reaction was spot on, I agree.
Yeah.
Let me see the crew from Lyon, and he has made a big impact in recent seasons in Poland, has had a fantastic run for Częstochowa. It's been outstanding for them. Here we see young Jack Holder on the outside. Here we are. It's been quite a while, actually, to get this race underway, but finally, I think we're, well, not quite there yet. Start Marshall, no, still not happy. No, Leon, no. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Behave yourselves, boys, come on. Here we go. Right, heat number 9, second time of asking.
Oh, roller!
Well,
roller!
Well, did he roll, or did he just drop the clutch?
That was a smashing start.
Well,
back in the day, that was what you wanted. You can't get away with that now, though. He'll get a warning for that.
But if we see a replay, is there an argument for it just being a perfect start? I don't know.
Yeah, it could be, but the rule...
Has he rolled?
He rolled there, and then he went early. He went early.
He's not touched the tape, so I don't know.
Yeah, but that's not the rule, is it? You know... Effectively, when you make a start like that, you've anticipated it.
Well,
you have.
Yeah, you have. Fair enough. Well, I've never done it, so I take your argument.
So before they changed the rule, you'll be delighted.
Yeah.
But now they've changed the rule, it's just frustrating.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see it again. I think he does move forward slightly.
He goes early, Nige.
Yeah.
He just goes a little bit early.
Yeah. Okay.
Now,
that replay. That.
He moves there, and then he goes just early. And it's marginal, and really, I would prefer it to be allowed to go. But with the change in the regulations by the FIM, they don't like that. They don't want that.
So surely he's got to have a warning then, hasn't he?
I've just said that. He'll get a warning. If he doesn't, then the referee's admitting that he's made a mistake.
It is all 4, and I haven't seen a warning issued.
Well, then the referee, Krista Gardell, is admitting that he then we'll wait and see. We haven't seen that yet.
Interesting. And the wait for heat 9 goes on.
Do you know, it's not for me. I find this nitpicking about stuff. The World Championship's on the line, and we're worrying about whether the bloke moved half an inch on the start line. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Absolutely, yeah. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, it's petty, isn't it, really?
Yeah. But perhaps Matsei's move there was as a consequence of what happened in the first staging.
Yes. Yes.
Ty Wofferden's move in that first staging was as a consequence of his concerns. We don't know. We're trying to read people's
they're only
minds
human
here.
beings, mate. You know, the fact is, as nerves take apart.
Absolutely.
And
that's a better shot of Krista Gardell.
Krista Gardell, there he is. FIM badge being proudly shown.
And because he's reached the proud old age of 55, he has to be retired off from the referees panel.
There we go.
Yeah.
Still do some league racing, I expect.
He's had a good career, Krista Gardell. He's had his moments. I recall one Grand Prix where Nicky Pedersen fell out with him over a decision, but he's Krista Gardell as well. I can tell he's a really nice guy. Really
smashing bloke. Yeah, absolutely.
Wofferden, Madsen, Janowski, Holder. You know the lineup. That's the 3rd time I've read it out. As we build up to heat number 9, and
I'll tell you what, this tests the nerves.
It does.
You know, with all this restarts. Certainly tests the nerves of Jacko, who's aged a bit since we last saw him about 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
He's very keenly looking on.
Let's see some racing now. Come on, we've enjoyed the racing so far.
Yeah.
And it seems ages since we last had a race, so...
It was about half an hour ago.
Let's crack on, boys. Let's go racing again with heat number 9 as we begin the 3rd batch of races for the boys. Speedway Grand Prix, the final round of the season. We do have more World Championship action in a couple of weeks. It's been confirmed today that the Monster Energy FIM Speedway of Nations takes place in a fortnight's time in Lublin, so that's great to look forward to. Here we go, Heat 9, and they're away this time. Oh, Janowski's packed up.
Can you believe it?
And now Woofenden has the lead early on here. Wins this race, it'll put him on to 8 points. That'll do him nicely. Madsen tries the inside run on Holder, gets there. Woofenden has the lead though, and this will do him quite beautifully.
Yeah, Ty Woofenden out in front, taking advantage of the problems from Janowski, and he's looking good. Certainly Leon Madsen coming on strong, gets the better of Holder and is pushing hard in second place. You can never relax when Leon Madsen's in the race because he's always quick, and Janowski has missed out there with some sort of mechanical problem. Look at Leon Madsen, I tell you, he's got plenty of speed. He's gone by him.
Wow.
Leon Madsen forcing the three-time world champion wide into the last lap. Leon Madsen, wow, where did he come from? Superb ride from him.
Well, that will put Woofenden on 7 points, not 8. And Woofenden's just going to sit on the inside run here, I think, and just take this result. It's a good ride by Leon Madsen. As you say, I'm glad I didn't say when Woofenden had the lead he won't be passed from there. No. Because he was, and fair play Leon Madsen. That moves him on to 6 points tonight now. That's a good performance. And yeah,
lovely ride. He got up the inside and certainly rode a stormer there to get the better of him. Got a feel for Janowski. He's not out of it because he was unbeaten prior to the ride, but quite clearly, I don't know whether the chain broke on the start line or something went wrong, but quite clearly a mechanical issue. But Madsen, that was a storming ride from him. Yeah,
Madsen, Woofenden, Holder and Janowski. Your finishing order. Janowski retired, of course, and Woofenden top of the table on 7. But riders around him have a race in hand, of course, including Freddie Lindgren, who is off gate 2 in the next heat.
Well, we did finally get there. That's not the start, that was the previous start.
Well,
you know what? That
chain?
It looked like the rear wheel wasn't done up.
Oh dear.
When you look at the bike, the actual rear wheel looks like it moves to one side and the rear chain comes off.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
This is a great move by Leon, isn't it?
Super move from Leon Madsen to get up the better of Ty Woofenden. I think Woofenden was probably a little surprised there and found himself squeezed up against the air fence as they come out of the corner. But for Leon, in the slightly greasy conditions, the bike was working a treat and got the better of Woofenden, who probably was a touch surprised to have been overtaken up the inside. But for Madsen, he's put himself in a good position and he's happy again.
Yeah, smart ride. Hands up at home, hands up at home. How many of you have filled a programme in with the result of a race before the race has finished? Like by the end of lap 3, have you put a result on your programme and then it's changed? Because I thought about it there.
Okay.
I thought about filling my programme in while you were talking there, Kel.
Oh, okay, did
and
you?
I'm glad I didn't.
I tell you, I've done that in the National League when I was team managing.
Did you?
Don't do it, because things can happen in the National League.
Once you learn how to fill a programme in.
Once the National League on the last corner, everybody can pull off.
Anything can happen, yeah. Great stuff.
Anyway, there we go.
Martin Vasilik inside, then it's Freddie Lindgren off 2, Antonio Lindback off gate 3, and Niels Christian Iversen off the outside in yellow. Surely Lindgren will fancy his chances here, but don't underestimate Vasilik off the inside gate in that red helmet colour. But Freddie Lindgren riding beautifully again tonight. He's got 5 points from 2 rides. He'll fancy it off gate number 2 here. Good start by Vasilik. Now Woofenden goes wide, Iversen stays on the bike. Lindgren goes wide and Iversen stays on the bike, and here comes Lindgren now down the Vasilik. Magnificent run.
Fantastic.
Great ride by fast Freddie Lindgren. Second place now is Martin Vasilik. You just don't know where Lindgren is going to come from. Magnificent ride. And now Lindback third with Iversen at the back, and still Vasilik challenging, but Freddie Lindgren absolutely superb.
Inspired down the back straight from fast Freddie. Squeezed round the outside of Martin Vasilik and hits the front. Vasilik hasn't thrown the towel and he's working really hard on the inside and keeping Lindgren right on top of his game. But Lindgren means business. He wants to be world champion. He's just going to keep piling the pressure on Vasilik by doing the very best he can. Into the last lap. Vasilik on the inside. Can he get there? It's tied again.
Great run from fast Freddie Lindgren in blue. He's on his way to another victory. Heat number 10, great speedway. And Freddie Lindgren takes the checkered flag. Stunning speedway from the Swede.
Yeah.
He is determined to hang on in there in the title race and take it all the way tonight.
And quite right too. He's ridden very well this season. He's been remarkably consistent. He's been in 5 finals. and he's won the 4th one, of course, and wins that race in fine style. Good battle with Vasilik as well.
Yep, Niels Christian Iversen in 3rd place and Antonio Lindback at the back there. Heat number 10, good speedway. Freddie Lindgren now tops the board on 8 points from his 3 rides, and it is looking as though Woofenden and Lindgren and probably Smarslik will go through to the semi-finals, so it's going to be a late call on the world title tonight.
Yeah, but Smarslik's still to ride yet. What a move, I tell you what. Freddie Lindgren really putting it on the line here. There wasn't a lot of room there. Not at all. He was almost halfway up the safety fence as he went by Martin Vasilik. Really brave move. Like to see a head-on of that. That would be unbelievable if we could see the head-on. Martin Vasilik comes back at him and keeps Freddie working hard. But
it's great, isn't it?
It is indeed. It's super speedway. Here we see this move there again with Vasilik putting pressure on right towards the end of the race. But Freddie Lindgren's move down the back straight on the opening lap was fantastic. There wasn't a lot of racing room. He almost rode up the kickboards halfway down the straight. But this man really wants it. He's come out firing tonight. Heat 2 certainly burst into life, and since then he's been rock solid.
And we don't know what is going to happen in these next 10 qualifying heats.
No, we don't.
Anything can happen. Of course, if Smarslik gets to the final tonight, it's game over.
Yeah, it's a done deal.
Yeah. Laguta off the inside, Jason Doyle goes off gate 2, Emil Seifudenhoff off 3, and Mikael Mikkelsen going off the outside gate in the yellow helmet colour. Heat number 11 it is then. Jason Doyle in blue, looking for points to strengthen his claim for a top 6 spot and a place in next year's series automatically.
Yeah, he needs them too. He ran a last time and admitted in the interview that with Kiri that they'd made too many changes, and that was a surprise after winning his first ride. Artem Laguta was quick last time. He'll be a danger, and he looked very useful indeed. And I think we've got both the Russians here. Yes, we have indeed. Emil Seifudenhoff also looking for points. So not an easy heat here, and certainly Seifudenhoff and Laguta will put as much pressure on Doyle here.
Yep, here we go then, and that's a good start from gate number 2, but Laguta's there off the inside run, going wide up the inside now, coming through in yellow is Mikael Mikkelsen, the talented Dane, and charging through!
Whoa!
Emil Seifudenhoff in white, great stuff. Doyle tries the inside run to return the compliment as well. Laguta has the lead, and they're all bunched up going into lap 2.
They are indeed. Now Emil switches to the inside. Jason Doyle working hard in second place. Artem Laguta's bike's working a treat. He fired out of the first corner and is pulling away. Doyle is now working wider in the grip, beginning to work that, and that's generating a bit more speed for him. Second place, probably okay. Would have been looking for a win, but a couple more rides to go after this. But Artem Laguta, after a disappointing opening gambit from the Russian, is bouncing back with 2 wins. Artem Laguta on fire now.
Yeah, riding beautifully, isn't he, Artem Laguta? It's going to be a second successive win, as you say, Kelv. And he is still in the hunt for a top 6 place, for a place in next year's series. He may yet get a pick. He may get a pick. Jason Doyle second, and Emil Seifudenhoff third, with Mikkelsen at the back. But again, some great passing there in heat number 11.
Yeah, nice ride from Artem Laguta. I think he will get a pick. I think that if we're going to Russia, they'll want 2 Russians in the series.
And he is a world champion, a Speedway of Nations world champion, of course.
With Emil, so no, nice ride from him.
Laguta, Doyle, Seifudenhoff, your finishing order in heat number 11. And it's over to the reigning champion, Bartosz Smarslik, in the next now, from gate number 4. Against Dudek, Zagar, and Max Frick. So the world champion is out next.
Indeed he is. It's a clean run to the first corner this time, and Artem Laguta just gets there, squares the corner off. Mikkel Mikkelsen's there for a moment, but can't stay there. Gets swallowed up at the end of the back straight. Jason Doyle rides strongly as well, hanging on to second place, because Emil Seifudenhoff slips in there initially, but he then can't quite hang on to it. It was all action there for the first lap between second and third. But for Artem Laguta, to be perfectly honest, this was a really impressive ride. And the longer the race went on, the further he went away. So he'll be pleased with his last 2 outings. And as I say, this is a timely reminder to everybody that it wasn't just a flash in the pan that first night in Wrocław when he won his first Grand Prix. He wants to be a GP rider next year, and he's going about it well now. So fair play to him.
And we've got a good lineup again in heat 12 here. This will complete the 3rd batch of races tonight. Every rider will have completed 3 rides, 3 programmed rides at the end of heat number 12. And there'll be another grading break then. And here we see Bartosz Zmarzlik, the reigning world champion, with 4 points to his name so far. Dudek's off the inside, then it's Matej Zegar. Max Frick, winner last night here in Torun, off gate 3. And Bartosz Zmarzlik off the outside in the yellow helmet colour for heat number 12.
Yeah, he'll just want to keep picking up the points, of course. That's the obvious thing to say, but it's not always easy to do. Gate 4 can be problematic at times. He's on 4. Another 2 points here would be handy with a win. Certainly would be exactly what he's looking for. Frick could be a danger. Never quite know what's going to happen with Zegar and Dudek.
Well, Zmarzlik's made a beauty there, but can he get to that front first turn ahead of the rest? Dudek's there, Zmarzlik's at the back, has got work to do now. Watch him go on the inside here! Whoosh into second place. Bartosz Zmarzlik now is going to be passed by Max Frick, is he, in the white helmet colour? The right leg's out, it's getting very close to that fence. Dudek leads away, Zmarzlik on the inside run. Oh!
Ruthless move from the world champion to take care of Frick. Had to work overtime there. Dudek's out in front. Zmarzlik not making, he's making hard work of it in actual fact. Right up the inside again here. He has having to put everything on the line. He knows how important it is to get to the latter stages tonight. Dudek's out in front, making the world champion work really hard.
Yeah, Dudek's riding a nice line here, but here comes Zmarzlik into the dirt. Down the back straight he goes, into turns 3 and 4, into the banking down that bottom bend, into the dirt. Is he going to get there? Down to the line we go, and Dudek hangs on.
Oh, he gave everything there.
Whoa.
You cannot deny how hard he's trying. But I'll tell you what, the pressure's on tonight.
He was hard on Frick there.
He was indeed, but he wants that championship, and it really was. Frick goes down, big decision for the referee. They all stand up. Dudek, he does nothing and then comes up with a stunning ride like that.
I reckon if Frick went down on that back straight, Bartosz would be out.
Yeah, every chance.
Harsh Speedway, Grand Prix Speedway, we love it. And now we see Zmarzlik in the top 8 on 6 points. So is Woffenden, and the leader is Lindgren on 8.
Well, a lovely
ride
ride
by Dudek,
yeah, very good ride, and just a reminder of what he can do. You know, it was a nice start from the inside. Zmarzlik gets himself in all sorts of trouble here early on by trying to switch to the inside, and it's not going super smooth for him tonight, and he's having to work very hard for his points. And we saw it here again. Rides out of the top draw. I mean, crikey, you can't take his eyes off of him. He really is spectacular to watch. He's really tough on Frick. Probably had to be in a way, because Frick's fast and he wanted to get clear of him. Here we see it. He squeezes up the inside there, and he doesn't really leave too many options for Max, who was winner last night, who clouts the fence actually as a consequence of this move. Now he moves out the way, and then he's drifting over and it keeps coming at him. I think he clouts the fence just about there, and as a consequence goes relegated to the back. We might see a better view of it now. Yeah, you'll see it. He hits the fence there and slows him right up, and that allows Zegar through. But for Dudek, that was a good ride, because Zmarzlik gave absolutely everything. But good stuff once again. Exciting speedway, and 4 points for the from 4 points from the last 2 rides from the inside. So we can get some more reaction now with Kiri Blore.
Well, Freddie, there's strong heats at the moment, looking good out there.
Oh yeah, there's some World Championship speed right there. Last one with Vasulik, it was really close on turn 3. I had to kind of squeeze in my elbow to get past him, get some room. But now we take one hit at a time and try and go for the win tonight and see if that can take us anywhere.
Well, you said World Championship heats. You're certainly riding like a world champion as well. You've got a red gate to finish off. Can you do this?
We got to make it to the semi first of all, and then make it to the final. You know, my aim is to try and win on the night, and we'll see if I can make it happen.
All right, keep it going, Freddie. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's not getting ahead of himself. He's just going to take it one race at a time. But it's been exciting stuff so far. Somebody's going to be over the moon tonight when they're crowned world champion. And we've got plenty of racing to come. We've got 2 more rides for everybody before the qualifying races are over. Track grading going on once again. And the racing's been good. Great to see the crowd in as well. They're enjoying it. Certainly that was an exciting race watching Smarslick. He's very popular wherever he goes in his home country. And certainly when you see the sort of riding that he does, it's perfectly understandable why. But there we see a significant amount of people in tonight. Much more than last night, but not too much longer, and we're going to be able to hear from young Jack Holder, the wild card.
Well, Jack, the heats are pretty tough at the moment. Everyone is riding very hard.
Yeah, you know, it's the World Championship. You know, all the boys going for that title at the moment, but yeah, I'm struggling a little bit. You know, the track's completely different to the league meetings and stuff, and you know, of course, it's a lot harder competition, but yeah, I just can't get out them starts. It's tough. We're changing bikes now, so fingers crossed.
Okay, changing bikes, but you're still in the mix. You're definitely still in the mix, and the aim is to get that wild card for next year. And I think last night and still tonight, showing that you can still compete with these guys is keeping your hopes alive for that.
Yeah, of course. You know, I race these guys in the leagues. I can beat them all, but you know, you can't beat them when you're not making starts. And you know, I'm riding my hardest out there, but you know, the bike's just not doing what I want. But big change now, and as I said, fingers crossed, and we can get it done.
Yeah, let's hope so. Okay, let's just talk Speedway of Nations for a sec. There was 3 Aussies in one heat. You guys are certainly impressive out there. It's going to be a strong team.
Yeah, for sure. You know, Doyley's obviously going good, and you know, Max won last night, so that probably give him a little bit of hope for it. But yeah, you know, if it happens, it happens. But if not, always next year.
All right, enjoy the rest of the night. Thanks, Jack.
I just want to say hello to, you know, my family back home and my girlfriend Jess.
Nice one. Thanks, Jack.
No worries.
Yeah, doing himself proud, Jack Holder, and a very philosophical attitude as well about selection for the Speedway of Nations. He's got a great future as a Speedway rider, I'm sure. Let's hear from Leon Madsen now.
Well, Leon, it's a fight out there, but that heat's the one that we want to see.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I said earlier, that I feel a little bit the pace in my bike's a little bit similar like last year. We kind of figure out what's been wrong, and it's going in the right direction. Now we just got to work on my starts. If I can improve them as well, then it looks better.
You've been struggling a little bit with the starts this season. Any reason for that? Is that nerves kicking in?
We try to find out why, but it's not that easy and simple, because you know, the starts are so how you say, it's so specific in Speedway, and there's so many things you can change on the bike, on the setup, to improve your start. So it's a very difficult task, and like I always say, it's the 16 best riders in the world, and everyone wants to do their best. So yeah, but we're working on it, and can I just figure out how to improve my starts, then I think it will look good for next year.
Well, everyone knows you can, Leon. Redgate up next, that's going to help as well.
From Redgate, I'm going to make not a flying start, I was about to say, but I'm going to make a good start from gate 1.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks, Leon.
Thank you.
And just for you non-Speedway people, Redgate is gate 1, the inside gate, as the track grade continues here. We do have the Polish Prime Minister in attendance here this evening, which is good to see. Hoping for a Polish winner, of course. And part of a big crowd here in the Marianne Rose Moto Arena. So good stuff.
It's interesting how the politician is wearing a mask and all the fans aren't.
Well, a lot of the fans aren't, yeah. There are some, but not many, Kelv.
No, majority.
The crowd shots we've seen, the majority aren't. You're quite right.
So don't understand that one, but there we are. That's another matter. But riders now preparing themselves for the upcoming race, heat number 13. And Bartosz Smarslick has got back-to-back races here. He's got gate number 1, and he'll be looking to build on his total of 6 points. That's okay. He's having to work extraordinarily hard, though, because when right from the word go in heat number 2, when he hit the front and then got out-battled, actually, and found himself back in 3rd place. And it was a hard-working 2nd place last time, with Patrick Dudek coming up with a special ride. Dudek on 4 points. more water going on the track.
Wow.
I think this is unnecessary, actually. I don't. This is much more water than last night.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So we'll be going racing again shortly. The riders keeping a close eye on this track grading. Riders don't look too pleased at this stage.
Well, because yeah.
Well, Phil Morris is shaking his head as well. Have they gone round a lap too many here?
Yeah, it's a shame because it makes it difficult. But there we are. Again, more water going on. It's October, by the way.
Well, Vasilik was shaking his head watching the track grade a couple of seconds ago.
I would say they're not pleased with that. Anyway, big race this. Huge race for Smarslik. Matsej Janowski has certainly found it a little bit unfortunate last time. There was something wrong with the back of his bike, and that's why the chain came off, and that was unfortunate for him, and because he was unbeaten going into his last ride. But this is not an easy race for Smarslik either. You know, every race is going to have to work hard, I think. He needs to win this to get to 9, and then he can maybe relax a fraction because the semi-final will beckon. But if he runs a third, then he's going to need to pick up at least 2 points in his last one, and he could run a third here. It's a sort of competitive race. So, you know, Janowski could win it. Mikkel Mikkelsen probably not favourite to win here, but Janowski and Vasilik desperately wanting points. He wants to try and force his way into the top 6, and it's still possible for him. And he had a hell of a race last time with Freddie Lindgren, so don't count him out. That man never knows when he's beat, does he? He just keeps coming.
It's great to watch.
He's great.
Absolutely.
And even if he misses out in his 7th or 8th, I've got to believe he'll have a chance of being put back in the series. He's a credit to it.
Yep, so we're about to go racing again with heat number 13, and the reigning world champion can all but book his place in the semi-finals with a victory here by moving on to 9 points. He's on the inside gate. Here we go. So here we go with heat 13. Can Smarslik take a big step to the semis? He's off gate 1. Martin Vasilik going off 2. Only 4 points. He's worked hard for that tonight. Mikkel Mikkelsen goes off gate 3. And Matsej Janowski is off the outside gate in yellow. A couple of wins and a retirement as well in Matsej's total tonight.
Yeah,
heat 13.
Chain jumped off. I think the back wheel moved actually when he dropped the clutch. Big race this for Smarslik. If he wins it, he takes a lot of pressure off himself by basically putting himself in the semi-finals. Interesting to see how the track reacts here. They put more water on, which is an interesting scenario. They put a lot more water on than they did last night, that's for sure. And there were some concerned faces as they were looking on prior to this race. Smarslik, the world champion, on the inside. How's he going to fare from there?
Yep, here we go with heat number 13 then. Smarslik focusing on the green light. Can he make the start? Can he get into that first turn ahead of the rest? He's made a beauty. Smarslik in red. The crowd are absolutely going wild. And now down the back straight, Janowski. Oh, and Vasilik's threatening Smarslik as well in the blue helmet colour. The lead is with Matsej Janowski. Vasilik trying the inside run on Smarslik. Smarslik should really just sit there, Kelv, wouldn't you think?
You would have thought so. It was difficult to get off the first corner where he was spinning up, coming out of there, and Janowski was in the right place at the right time. Needs to just chase Matsej Janowski down. It's going to be difficult to overtake now because they're on that dirt line and they're just going to chase each other round. He can't go to the inside. He's putting tear-offs on. And Janowski's hit the front at the right time. He's going to clear off now. He should win relatively comfortably. And Smarslik, the world champion, it's not going super smooth for him tonight. But 8 points from 4 outings. He's just about hanging on in there.
Well, that'll do him. Absolutely. It's all about getting into the semi-finals and then the final. Matsej Janowski takes the checkered flag. Bartosz Smarslik in second place. Under threat early on from Martin Vasilik, I felt. But ultimately holding out. And as you say, Kel, for Bartosz now, a steady job, 8 points from 4 rides, and Matsej Janowski moves on to 9. Now we know that 9 points was enough last night. It wasn't for a couple,
no.
But that's because they didn't win races. But Matsej has won 3 of his 4 heats now. Bartosz with another second spot has got 8 points from 4 rides. A reminder, if he reaches the final, he's world champion. Potentially, putting it in simple terms, Bartosz Marslik is potentially 2 rides away from a second successive world title.
Yes, he is, and that's absolutely right. We see this is, he's on the inside there, it's greasy, and he just gets outpowered, and that allows Maciej Janowski. They get really strung out here in this race, and Martin Vashlik back in 3rd place just gets absolutely blasted there, pulling tear-offs. That was quite a lot of dirt there, and it was just slightly overwatered actually before this race. Janowski out in front, though, he'll be chuffed to bits to have bounced back after that drama he had last time, and he's looking really good tonight, Janowski, and he's running really well, apart from the chain problem, and he slipped off, of course. He had a restart. He could well have been unbeaten so far, but good work from him. Smarslik, well, if he could win his last ride, which is, when is he out? He's out actually in
Heat 18 in white.
Heat 18, yeah, with Leon Madsen and Doyle as his main rivals in that one.
Niels Christian Iversen off the inside gate in red. Then it's Patrick Dudek off 2 in blue. Artem Laguta, we await his rival. He's off gate 3. And then it is Jack Holder off the outside gate in the yellow helmet colour. So gate 1 in the red helmet is Niels Christian Iversen. Can he make that work? Or will it be Laguta continuing his fine run of 2 straight wins? It's Heat 14 coming up. If Laguta can get through to the semis, it puts pressure on Doyle to maintain his top 6 spot for a place in next year's series. So here we go. Heat number 14, the FST Grupa Brokerska FIM Speedway Grand Prix of Poland. Start Marshal taking no messing again tonight. And the boys are away first time. Iversen's made a good start. Off gate 1 in red in his 100th Grand Prix. Holder tries to chop up the inside. Here comes Laguta. No way through initially, but chops up the inside, and that's done the trick nicely.
Lovely.
A lot quicker than Niels, but Niels is coming back and having a go here. Fair play to Iversen. Holder is 3rd right now, just getting the edge of Patrick Dudek. But Artem Laguta looking set fair for a 3rd straight win.
Yeah, he really has turned things around tonight, looking great. Had so much speed there, had to shut the throttle off, switch to the inside, still had time to pass Niels. Niels is now becoming under pressure from Jack Holder, and Patrick Dudek, who rode so well in his previous race, is tailed off at the back. Niels Christian Iversen almost, oh, he has crashed.
Oh dear.
Overdoing it there. That was a nasty crash as well. Almost looked like the front of the bike broke. He ran in really hot, and the red lights are on. It was a nasty crash, I tell you. Really nasty crash. He ran in with loads of grip, and then the front of the bike just folded up underneath him. Really awkward crash.
Hope he's going to be okay, Niels, who hasn't had the best of luck this year when it comes to injuries.
I'm concerned for him. He crashed heavy there, really heavy.
Yeah, and the medics are with him now. Hopefully he'll be able to get up pretty quickly from this. Fingers crossed that that is the case.
I don't think he'll get up quickly. I tell you, he hit the ground really hard. He may just be winded, but it was an awkward-looking fall. He was rushing towards the air fence at a, you know, out of control. The bike was hooked up so hard underneath him, and then just at the end there, the bike just sort of spat him over the handlebars. It was really quite dramatic.
Yes, and Niels, one of the nicest guys on the circuit, and feel for him after the run of results that he's had. And as we say, his 100th Grand Prix tonight, not going the best of ways for his weekend. We think he's going to be okay, so we'll perhaps take another look at that incident. Here we go now. Niels Christian Iversen is the man in the red helmet.
You watch it, the bike will hook up now, and again, pull in too hard, big locker. Oh yeah, just spits him off, and he goes over.
That sums his weekend up.
Yeah, it's just not working out. It's heavy out there, isn't it? And it just spits over. Nothing breaks on the bike. It's just a very awkward fall. And as hard as he's been trying, it's just not working out. And sometimes you maybe need to take a step back before you can make a step forward. Terrific to see him up and about. I think he'll be very pleased to put the bikes in the van and go home.
Yes, absolutely. And you were right, Kelv. It's just been one of those years, and you were right, it was a heavy landing for Niels. And, you know, you got to feel for the guy.
He's bashed his head.
There you go.
You know, he's really given himself a really good knocking about. And he's been in the wars this year more than once, you know. He's been under the surgeon's knife. And it's you can see the way his body language is. It's just not working out. And for all the effort and finances that go into it, when it's not working out, it can be quite a cruel place to be out there. And let's hope that 2021 is a more successful one for him. He won't be a Grand Prix rider, but let's hope he can rebuild and come again, Nige.
Let's hope he has a good winter of training, gets himself absolutely fully fit, does a good season of league racing, and, you know, and we can be okay. So
the race is awarded then.
Okay, Artem Laguta, Jack Holder, Patrick Dudek, and Niels Christian Iversen.
Oh, they quite often rerun them at FIM.
Yeah, technically excluded, of course. They're Niels. So,
all right, okay.
There we are.
There we are.
Riders on the way up for Heat 15. So technically there, Iversen goes down as an exclusion.
Was Holder second then, Nige?
So that means that Jack Holder moves to 2 points.
And Patrick Dudek gets the consolation
gets
prize. Okay.
But no doubt about Laguta, 3 wins.
Looking good now, isn't he, Artem?
Yeah, 9 points from 4 rides.
He's in the semi-finals.
Yep.
And he'll be pleased about that. He's putting pressure on Jason Doyle. He's trying to make his way towards the top 6. Very, very tough to do so, but he started in 10th on 60 points. Excuse me, that is incorrect. He started in 9th on 68. So
he did.
He's got, what is he, 9 behind, 8 behind Jason Doyle, so plenty of work to do, but he's going about his business well tonight.
Yep, so it's Madsen off the inside, Seifutenhoff off 2, Max Frick off 3, and then Freddie Lindgren going off the outside gate. He's had a wonderful evening, Lindgren. Wants to push Smarslik all the way, and Woofenden in the title race, but of course it's in Smarslik's hands. If Bartosz gets through the semi-final into the final, he's world champion. Nobody can catch him. That sounds simple. But I'm sure there's a few twists and turns ahead.
Well, there already has been, hasn't there? So, yes, I'm sure you're right, Nigel. Freddie Lindgren riding out of his skin tonight, pushing on, just trying to put as much pressure on the opposition as he possibly can. And gate 4, he's going to have to do something pretty good from there.
Yep, absolutely. It's a good start from Madsen off the inside. Frick is there, and Lindgren's been pushed wide, and he's behind here, and the man in blue, Seifutenhoff, almost took out Frick, and now he's come through brilliantly to get the better of Leon Madsen. Lindgren has come through into 3rd spot ahead of Max Frick right now. Emil Seifutenhoff has the lead. 2nd place, Leon Madsen. 3rd is Freddie Lindgren.
Oh, Freddie Lindgren's 2nd. What a move that was, Nige.
Wow.
He just charged up the inside of Leon Madsen, took him by surprise. Freddie really means business now. He's pushing on. Can he get to Emil Seifutenhoff? Max Frick almost ran in the back of the opposition of Emil Seifutenhoff coming out of the 1st corner. Really killed his momentum stone dead. Out in front, the Russian rocket going great guns. Freddie Lindgren charging hard.
More great speedway in heat number 15 here, and Lindgren will move on to 10 points with this 2nd place. Took Madsen by surprise, came from nowhere, but that's a good win as well for Emil Seifutenhoff, who moves on to 7 points now and can sneak a semi-final spot. Wow, good ride by Lindgren as he charged through.
Wow,
and
brilliant.
took Leon Madsen by surprise there for sure.
He did indeed. And there's no question that Freddie really is taking every opportunity that presents itself. But Emil Seifutenhoff, that was a nice ride for him.
Yep, Max Frick at the back, and this is how it looks now. Lindgren leads on 10, with heat 16 to come. Laguta 9, Janowski 9, Smarslik on 8. So it's shaping up nicely with 1 set of races to come, heat 17 to 20 after our next race.
Yeah, it's Madsen initially on the inside.
Lindgren's miles behind here, isn't he?
You can see that Frick almost runs in the back of Emil Seifutenhoff. It was an odd first corner because Freddie Lindgren, as you rightly say, was absolutely high and wide here. Gets forced wide there, but look at Frick. Frick's running in the back of Seifutenhoff. That kills his speed and really kills his chances of points. Freddie Lindgren comes from nowhere. I mean, he is so alert. His racing brain is well and truly engaged. And now Leon Madsen chasing Emil Seifutinov. And all of a sudden, Freddie Lindgren nicely, very nicely comes up the inside and takes that second place off the Danish boy. Emil Seifutinov looking like a proper rider out in front. That's good to see. And he'll be pleased with the 7 points. And another win in his last one, and we'll see more of him. And that's good news.
Yeah, and there's no doubt Lindgren is working hard for his points. He has done in each and every round. He's been very, very impressive the way he's gone about his business, for sure.
That is spot on, Nigel. I agree with that wholeheartedly. He has worked hard. He's been really picked it up when he needed to. He's bouncing back from a disappointment of missing the final last night, and he's riding with real intent. Fair play to him.
Right, good lineup for Heat 16. Jason Doyle off the inside on 5 points. Ty Wofferden still with work to do to make the semis. He's on 7. He's off gate 2. Zagar off 3. And Limbach off the outside race, outside gate in the yellow helmet in race 16 here. This man is Jason Doyle in red. Bit of pressure on Doyley.
Yeah.
Needs the points. 5 from 3 rides. Could do with a win here, really, Jason Doyle. That's for sure. Yeah. Start Marshall having a word with the riders again here, telling Wofferden to move closer to the tapes. Wofferden has a quick look, and the green light is on, and they're away. And who's going to emerge here? Doyle has got there in that first turn. Wofferden holds second place. Look out for Limbach here. Limbach on the outside. Where on earth has he found that from?
Wow.
And Wofferden has to get off the gas there. Doyle is second. Zagar's in the hunt now as well. Wofferden tries to come through into second, but Doyle holds the line. And Antonio Limbach, who's done virtually little to nothing in this World Championship, has just ridden a sensational ride there.
Off the grip there. Certainly made it work for himself, and he fired himself to the front. Going to win another race. He won his first race and then has done nothing, and then came storming to the front. Wofferden trying to find a way through. Doyley's having to work hard on the outside. There's a big cushion of dirt high and wide now, and they're all chasing it into the last lap. Limbach's got this. Wofferden up the inside. Oh, tied again. Doyley, lovely, up back up the inside. Don't rule Wofferden out round the outside.
Yep, he's having a go down to the checkered flag. Here he comes. He's got him.
Wow, what a ride on the last turn from Wofferden. Really put it on the line there. Don't think he was fully in control all the time, but by God, he made it work. Limbach was terrific in the first part of the race, but a fabulous finish to the race as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, that is huge, because Doyle is now only on 6 points from 4 rides and has to get a win in his last one, or maybe a second place. That's how it looks. The top 8. Limbach sneaks into the top 8 with 1 race apiece to go. Wofferden on 9, Lindgren's on 10, Smarslick's on 8. They're looking set fair, the top 3 for the semis.
Well, I tell you what, it's all going on, isn't it? It really is, and this was quite a spectacular race. You just see that grip on the outside works a treat for Antonio Limbach. He's able to slingshot and hits the front, and then he stays there. A little bit of argy-bargy on the way to the first corner with Zagar, and a superb first corner from Antonio Limbach. Jason Doyle looks set for second here, but a fantastic bit of speedway from Ty Wofferden by coming up the inside and making Jason Doyle have to work a little bit harder than he really wanted to. And this effort round the outside on the last corner really was something, a sight to behold, because Wofferden absolutely puts it on the line here. Bike's really pulling hard, gets the speed and just slips into second. Doyle is going to be frustrated again. He missed out earlier on when he ran last place, but for Ty Wofferden, I tell you what, he really wants it tonight, and that was a fantastic effort from him. So super speedway, and it's all building up very nicely indeed.
Yeah, and an important extra point for Wofferden, but it could be costly for Jason. This fella, Antonio Limbach, could make a semi-final. Remarkable. We've got 4 heats to go before we know our semi-finalists.
Emil, some really tough heats, but that was a great last heat.
Yeah, it was okay, I feel finally good speed, and I just try to work, about my start, and we make some few things, change setups, and we will see, hopefully it will be okay,
Okay, has the track changed much throughout the night?
Yes, I think it's it's so every hit, you know, is change, and we try to, you know, it's like to be concentrate and see how it's changed, you know, how it's looking. So yeah, so just, you know, is keep my performance good and just get the same.
Yeah, indeed. Keep it going. Thanks, Emil.
Thank you very much.
Can you turn the light back on, Kelv?
It all went dark, didn't it, for a minute? I was trying to turn the heating on and I turned all the lights off.
Goodness me. Couldn't see me. I thought there was a power cut.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
Excellent.
Anyway, we've seen some good speedway, haven't we? And
yeah, it's been great.
And
hopefully the best yet to come, Kelv.
well, yes, because all the answers to the questions are going to be coming up very shortly. We haven't got too much longer. We've got 7 races to go. So that's when everything will be decided. Well, we say that. There could be a race-off, of course, for 1 or 2 positions. We'll have to wait and see. But 7 races are programmed. And there's every chance that we will know the top 3 and the top 6 at the end of that. It's been a good couple of nights in Torun, that's for sure. Last night was terrific. And again, this evening has been super. So here we see the track grading going on for the last time tonight. No, penultimate time, excuse me.
I think Niels Christian Iversen has ridden his last ride for tonight.
Oh, Niels, such a tough night for you out there. But first of all, you're okay?
Yeah, sort of. I took a big scrub to my upper body, but I can still move everything, so I'll be all right.
But not going to continue on the meeting?
No, I have quite a lot of pain here, up here and up in my head, so I don't think there's any idea to go out for the next one. I'm not going to make the semifinals or anything like that, so you know, it's a big shame to finish it like this for now, but yeah, what can you say, you know? At least I had more pace today than what I had for some time, but what can you say? It's disappointing.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. But like you said, for now, a big milestone today as well, 100th Grand Prix. You've got to be proud of that achievement.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, what can you say? It's like I've been around for a long time, but you know, I don't really want it to finish here. You know, I still feel like I got what it takes to compete here. But obviously, this season has been it's been a strong battle with, especially with injuries. You know, I had 2 quite big injuries to overcome, and with the season being squeezed into just 5 weeks, then I just don't had enough time to prepare myself and prepare everything to be at the level which it takes to compete here. And obviously, under normal circumstances, when you have a whole season, it's spread out over 6 months, and you have more time to fix your problems, and you know, the meetings are spread out wider. So obviously that's another thing. It's been disappointing, and it's been really tough. So yeah, I don't know what to say more than that. You know, I hope I can make my way back somehow someday. You know, I mean, I'm not getting younger, as you said before. I've done 100 Grand Prix now, and I've been around for a long time, but yeah, I don't feel like it's the end of it. You know, I feel like I have plenty more to give, and I feel like I have what it takes to be at this level. So that's the main thing.
For sure, Niels. Well, we hope it's not the end of it. It's been an amazing ride so far, and let's hope the wild card is yours next season. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, that was a great interview by Niels. He's open and honest.
I tell you what, that was heartfelt.
Yes, and that sums the guy up, Kelv.
Yeah, really, really good. I feel for him. I don't think he'll get a wild card, unfortunately.
No.
I think that he will have to earn his place back. He'll have to go to the challenge next year and try and get in the top 3 and get himself back in. I like the fact that he feels deep down that he's still got something to give. And if he believes that, and he really truly believes that, then he should keep pushing to get back into the Grand Prix. But I think sometimes you do need to step back and maybe have a year out to just reassess, to come back in.
As you said, sometimes a step back can prove to be a step forward.
Yes, it can be. You know, sometimes you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and then all of a sudden You know, it just isn't working, and you've seen that with Niels. As hard as he's worked, it just isn't happening for him. And big discussions going on here. Quite clearly, the track has been overwatered at times tonight. So Phil Morris, the race director there, just trying to make sure that he's getting his message across, because we have seen a couple of races where it's been a bit greasy. As I've said, 7 races to go, might be one more, but it will be very interesting to see exactly how it pans out. Bartosz Zmarzlik, the boys are just very keen here, looking on again.
Oh my goodness, deep there, isn't it?
Well, it was very deep on the outside, wasn't it, when Woofenden went around the outside of Doyle then?
Yeah.
And clearly when Niels Christian Iversen crashed, there was a hell of a lot of grip on the outside. Antonio Limbach also utilised it well in the first corner. But the boys are a little bit concerned about conditions. It's an important night, of course. But it's not always that you see them so keen to keep an eye on the track, particularly when it's track grading going on.
And it's becoming a very time-consuming process, this, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, Niels was giving us plenty of time with his interview, and
it's funny how last night it seemed to go very smoothly.
Yes.
And then tonight it seems to be difficult, and far less water that time, which is probably exactly what it needed. At times, at this time of year, you don't need to water, actually, because there's moisture in the air. Work going on, Woofenden, carburetor off, or no, excuse me, air filter off, just making sure it's all nice and clean. And a new tyre going in. A big race for him coming up, of course. So we will see. Tyres out in gate 4 in heat number 19. And just keep pushing on, but he's ridden nicely. Maciej Janowski ready for his last qualifying ride here in heat 17. Artem Laguta will be a threat out of gate 2. He's been going good, hasn't he? It's been a tough night for Max Frick to back up his win last night. I don't think he'll lose too much sleep over that.
Whatever happens, you know, he can look back on his debut Grand Prix season as a winner of a Grand Prix.
The GP winner, you can't take that away, and I think he's got every chance of being invited back next season as well. I certainly feel he'll have a better chance than the unfortunate Niels Christian Iversen, or even Jack Holder. I think that Jack hasn't done quite enough here. But for Max Frick, with the Speedway of Nations to come as well, he could have quite an end of the season, you know.
Yes, he could well. The Speedway of Nations in a couple of weeks' time now, so...
I haven't been to Lublin. Have you been there?
Can't remember being there.
I know they've got a new stadium.
Yeah.
And it's meant to be state-of-the-art.
I've not been.
I'm looking forward to working on the meeting.
So we're into the final batch of 4 races before we head into the semi-finals when the world title will be decided. Maciej Janowski goes off the inside here. Artem Laguta is going off gate 2. Antonio Limbach gate 3. And then it's Max Frick going off the outside. The Australian winner here last night. Has had a good weekend all told. This man, Artem Laguta, 3 wins on the bounce.
Looking good, isn't he?
This man's done a lot better as well, Antonio Limbach, which has been good to see tonight.
Yeah, he's won a couple of races, and that's pleasing for him. His Grand Prix campaign has not been what he wanted. It's been disappointing. This man, of course, Janowski, started incredibly well and then had some inconsistency. But tonight has looked really good. Apart from a problem he had with the chain, he has done very well so far, and he's looking really set for a potential win tonight, Janowski. Here we see Max Frick on the outside. Will this be his last race of the night? It probably will be, actually, for Max tonight.
Yes, he will. There's no question about that.
Hasn't quite gone his way, but
no.
That man on the inside, I think he's still going to have work to do. He looks like he's up for a win this evening.
Yep, here we go, heat number 17. And they're away, and it's a good start from Janowski off the inside gate. Laguta now, the man in blue, trying to come around the outside, but it's a good move by Janowski. Frick is third right now. Here comes Limbach up the inside in the white helmet colour. The lead, though, is with Maciej Janowski. Second place is Artem Laguta, the Russian. And third, Antonio Limbach, with Frick trailing now.
Well, Janowski's so fast tonight. Good battle for third, but out in front, Janowski's just cleared off. And when you consider the speed that Laguta's had in his previous 3 outings, this is impressive from the Polish boy. Maciej Janowski is on fine form tonight. He's looking really good. and he's enjoying himself, and he's going to move sweetly through as one of the top point scorers for the semi-finals. Great night so far for him. 4
race wins if he seals the deal here, as you would expect him to.
Yeah.
Lindback holding on to 3rd place right now, but Matt Sajanovski looking super smooth. And it's going to be a 4th win on the night for Matt Sajanovski. Artem Laguta will finish on 11 points. And that's been a good night's work for Laguta. He'll progress through to the semi-finals, as will Janowski. And a good night's work for both those riders. Well done to them both. They'll be progressing through to the semi-finals now.
Yeah, rightly so. They've ridden really well. You just sense that Janowski may well have been on a maximum so far if he hadn't had those problems earlier on. But super riding from him.
Yes, indeed. So good stuff from Janowski. And this is what it means now. Janowski on 12, Laguta on 11 points. So good work from both of them, safely through to the semi-finals. And in the next one, we have Bartosz Zmarzlik looking to secure his semi-final spot.
Just about gets there, Janowski off the inside, rides nicely round the inside. Laguta's comfortable in 2nd place. A bit of a tear up for 3rd, with Frick coming out on top there. And picks up a solitary point, but for Janowski, he rides exemplary out in front. He doesn't put a wheel wrong, and he rides really well to pick up his 4th win of the night. And as I say, he's looking like he could go right the way to the checkered flag in the final tonight and pick up 20 points and win his 2nd Grand Prix. Good battle for 3rd, but out in front, Janowski there wins lovely. He's chuffed to bits. They've got that bike working spot on. And Artem Laguta's right in the thick of the action as well. He's doing himself proud tonight, Laguta.
Yes, 12 points for Matt Sajanovski, and Laguta started with a 0, remember?
Yeah.
But has really come good tonight with 11 points. Janowski 12. Now, this man. It's all about this man now. What can he do? Can he make it through to the semi-finals? He should do.
We'll have a reserve here, won't we?
Yes, we're going to have Viktor Trofimov.
Viktor Trofimov, yep.
The number 17 in the riding order tonight. First reserve. There he is. Yeah, one of the young local riders. Trofimov is the man on his Grand Prix debut. Hope it doesn't overawe him. He's in fine company here, it has to be said. Jason Doyle off the inside needs a good ride. Trofimov off 2. Zmarzlik off 3 on 8 points. Leon Madsen off the outside in yellow. Zmarzlik should book his semi-final spot here, Kelv.
Yeah, not easy. There's a couple of riders here charging hard as well. They're up for points, so here we go.
Yep, Doyle's made a decent start off the inside gate. Now Zmarzlik's got White Trofimov off the reserve, and now coming forward, down the back straight they go. And Madsen has come through. Doyle 2nd, Zmarzlik 3rd. Trofimov is putting Zmarzlik under serious pressure here, going into lap 2.
This championship is not over. Zmarzlik got beaten up again coming out of the 1st corner. Leon Madsen won't get beaten from there, and certainly Zmarzlik trapped back in 3rd place. Well, will it be enough? Will it be enough for the semi-finals? Doyle's in 2nd place. Bartosz Zmarzlik working really hard. I would say he's going to have to throw the kitchen sink at him to make sure he gets 2nd place. But Leon Madsen, he's got the race won out in front.
Yeah, and Zmarzlik really piling on the pressure. Doyle needs to hold on to this 2nd spot. You would think 9 would be okay for Bartosz Zmarzlik. He's going to have a go, though. He's going to throw it into the dirt. Doyle needs the 2 points. He's going to get them. Madsen with a victory. Doyle 2nd and Zmarzlik 3rd. But you were quite right, Kelv. Zmarzlik got beaten up early on there. Anything can happen in the latter stages of this World Championship.
Over. This is not over. He's not looking convincing. The pressure is building, and he's just making some mistakes in the 1st corner by trying to chop back and running into traffic. And a couple of times he dropped points. Madsen was good there, though, fast.
Yeah, rode well, and Madsen's on to 10 points now. Zmarzlik on 9, Doyle on 8. Doyle is in the top 8 as things stand at the moment, and he's looking good to stay there after 18 races.
See it again. Young Viktor Trofimov was right in the thick of the action here, first of all. He goes right round the inside. He's in front there. Not for long, because they're all... I tell you what, look at that.
That could have ended in tears, Kel.
It could have done. I tell you what, both Doyle and Zmarzlik could have come down there. Leon Madsen from the outside. He works it out, chops to the inside. There we see now Zmarzlik just not quite getting in the right place.
That's where it could have gone wrong.
Absolutely, just runs into the side, runs out of room. And from that moment on, he can't really land a blow. So it isn't quite going as well as he would have liked. He's just about hanging in there. Just about. It's not convincing. Freddie Lindgren probably is the most convincing rider alongside Janowski so far this evening. But in the context of the World Championship, Freddie Lindgren is certainly applying pressure by riding so strongly. Leon Madsen is pleased. He is...
10 points, yep.
10 points is a nice effort. And we'll see more from him. But I tell you what, I just sense there's a twist and a turn here. This semi-final's coming up. They are going to be drama.
Well, Jason Doyle on 8 points with a race win under his belt. That could be enough for him. But we'll see. Emil Sayfutdinov is out here in the red helmet colour. 7 points to his name. A win puts him on 10. Vasilik off gate number 2. Patrick Dudek off gate number 3. And Ty Woffenden off the outside gate in yellow. 9 points to his name. A little bit like Bartos, not completely convincing tonight. The best riders, I agree with you, Matvej Janowski and Freddie Lindgren, and not far behind Artem Laguta, save for that 1-0 in his opening ride. But
exactly.
Well, I agree with you. There's some twists and turns to go here. Heat number 19. What can Woffenden do off the outside gate? That's a lovely start from Vasilik and Sayfutdinov. Dudek now tries the inside run. They're all going to bunch up down the back straight. Watch out for Woffenden on the inside in yellow. Swoops into second spot. Emil Sayfutdinov has that lead. Woffenden is second. Third is Dudek. The man at the back is Vasilik. And Emil Sayfutdinov looking good for a place in the semi-finals right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Turning it on. Started slowly again this evening, but the longer the meeting's gone on, the better he's got. Looking good here. Again, it seems to be deja vu for him. Woffenden's right there and pushing him hard, and certainly is working hard. But Emil Sayfutdinov, the bike is working well. Dudek again in third. This is disappointing for Martin Vasilik, Nige. He could have done with some points here. But out in front, Emil Sayfutdinov's going to win this one. He's pulling away now from Woffenden.
Yep, Sayfutdinov is going to take the checkered flag and move into the semi-finals, and Vasilik down to the line trying to get the better of Dudek. I'm quite sure if he got there, it won't make a difference for Martin anyway, because he's had a poor night. It's a disappointing way for the Slovakian to round off his World Championship tonight. But Woffenden with that second spot, that's all he needed really, Kelv.
Yeah, but that Martin Vasilik having a poor night takes a bit of pressure off Doyle.
Yes.
Because he was the next one in the position, but Sayfutdinov...
Dudek held on.
Yeah, Dudek just held on for third place there. But Sayfutdinov, that's a decent tally for him, 10. Top 8, Doyle just hanging on in 8th place with 8 points at the moment.
Yeah, with one race to go. Freddie Lindgren in red. Mikael Mikkelsen won't catch Doyle. Jack Holder is a wild card, and he's on 5 points. But Doyle did beat Jack Holder in the head-to-head. And then Matti Zagar is the other rider who won't make the semis, so it's looking like Doyle is there by the skin of his teeth, Kel.
Yeah, and he'll be pleased about that. Just keeping himself just about in contention for the top 6, which he'll be pleased to. He is in a vulnerable position. I fancied he did need to make the final tonight to make sure of it, and he's just about keeping that on course. The World Championship is yet to be decided, of course. Bartosz Zmarzlik is not having a great night. But he's hanging in there. This man, a little up and down, but has finished well. There were 2 back-to-back wins. We've seen that so often. They never seem to get going at the beginning of the night. If they could, he'd win Grand Prix. Here we go. Freddie Lindgren has been terrific. He has come out with all guns blazing tonight, that's for sure. And all he can do is keep it simple and keep winning races.
Well, if Lindgren wins the race, Kel, by my maths, he will top the board and have a favourable pick of gate positions with 13 points for the semis. Lindgren, Mikkelsen, Holder, Zagar across the grid.
And that will help, you know, because there's no question that Zmarzlik won't have a good pick, because he will have 9 points, so he's going to get third pick at best, isn't he? So,
well, if that's when it gets interesting. If,
yes,
if
exactly.
Bartosz misses out in the semi-finals,
oh, it's all on. Then
it's game on. Yeah. So here we go. Lindgren is the man to watch off the inside gate. He's made a good start. Got the better of Mikkelsen there. Charging through in white is Jack Holder, the wild card, and up the inside is Matti Zagar in yellow. Holder having to get off the gas a little bit to avoid Zagar there. Lindgren's got the lead, but he's not pulling clear like we thought he perhaps might. But if he wins this race, he will top the standings. going into the semi-finals, and the battle up front and at the back. We saw the battle at the back as Holder comes up the inside now.
Yeah, Jack Holder working hard. He's come through into second place. Good ride from him. Zagar was actually pushing hard to get to the front there momentarily, but he's now been relegated to third place. Freddie Lindgren looks like he's now beginning to stretch his legs. Yeah, he's got a little bit of a lead there, fairly comfortable over Jack Holder. Should win from there with a lap to go. And Freddie Lindgren, well, this is exactly what he needed to do. He's going to move on to 13 points. He's going to have the choice of the gates for the semi-finals.
He is indeed, and we have a man down, and that is Matti Zagar. That rounds off his World Championship on the floor, which is a shame. But Freddie Lindgren tops the standings in this meeting, going into the semi-finals on 13 points. Bartosz Marslik qualifies for the semis on 9. Woofenden qualifies for the semis on 11. We are going down to the last 3 races of the championship to decide the world champion.
Indeed we are. Bartosz Marslik is going to have to come up with a very special semi-final performance if he wants to make the final and retain his championship. It's going to be that. It's as simple as that. He needs to get to the top 2, but he's not going to get a start that he'd want because he only scored 9 points. A clash there between Mikkelsen and Zagar. I'm not sure if Mikkelsen will be excluded for that or not. An awkward one, but nonetheless, I do think that they're all okay. But the hugely important, the result, yeah, Zagar, yeah, finishes last.
Lindgren, Holder, Mikkelsen, your finishing order. The top 8 are pretty clear-cut. Doyle makes it by the skin of his teeth. We are in for some sensational semi-finals.
Yeah, Freddie's going well tonight, 13 points, and fair play to him. He's doing a fine job, a very fine job. Emil Saifutinov is on 10, but that's actually, we're looking at Freddie at the moment, and he's got a couple more points than that. 3 in actual fact. We see it again, and Mikkelsen makes quite a good fist of it, but it's Freddie Lindgren that gets to the first corner. Jack Holder's in touch here as well. Zagar, incredibly, he rides really well for 2 laps and then just fades away. Jack Holder gets the better of him, and then late on in the race, Mikkelsen comes up the inside and gives him a clout for good measure, and he goes down. But for Freddie Lindgren, well, this is a means to an end, of course, because now the qualifying is over and all the big points are going to be dished out, and all the big prizes, of course. And for Freddie, topping the charts, he'll have a good pick for the semi-finals, and he must feel confident that he can make the final tonight. The pressure is well and truly on Bartosz Marslik. I know I go on about that, but it is, because he won't get a good pick. He won't get the start he wishes for because of the fact that he's scraped in on 9 points. He's got 4 laps to be world champion, Marslik.
Well, let me tell you, Kelv, semi-final 1 by my reckoning will feature Lindgren, Woofenden and Marslik.
Wow!
In the first semi-final.
Wow.
They'll go head-to-head.
They'll go head-to-head once again. Heat 2, if it's anything like Heat 2, it will be quite incredible. And Bartosz Marslik cannot afford to finish 3rd. He needs to be in the front 2, and he will be world champion.
He's going to have last pick. He's going to have whatever's remaining.
Exactly. So
Lindgren will pick first, then Woofenden, then Madsen.
So the fact is, it is an incredibly tough semi-final, and this championship, I believe, is not over. I think it will be an incredible performance from Bartosz Marslik to get in the final now. He can do it. He's done it before. But by golly, this is an important 4 laps.
Well, the battle for the top 6 as well. Emil Saifutinov on 72, Jason Doyle on 76. And basically, Emil and Doyle in semi-final 2 go head-to-head.
Okay.
So Doyle has a 4-point advantage on Emil. And Doyle will be left with whatever gates remaining because it's Janowski, Laguta.
I did say that Doyle needs to make the final, and he does.
He's made the semi-final.
Yeah.
He's got to make the final.
He has.
And he's going to have it with whatever gate position he's got left.
Sure.
Same as Smarslik in semi-final 1.
So there's plenty to race for, and it will be panning out. But the title is on the line. Bartosz has not had it his own way tonight. Right from the word go this evening, when he hit the front in Heat 2, he got relegated to 3rd place, and he hasn't been able to really be on the pace since. Semi-final number 1 is an incredible lineup. And the top 3 go head-to-head once again tonight.
Yes.
And Bartosz Zmarzlik has got to make sure he's in the first 2, and he will be crowned world champion for the 2nd time. If he misses out and it's Woofenden and Lindgren, then all of a sudden Woofenden wins the final, he will be world champion.
Well, well, well. We're just waiting for the riders to come and pick their gate positions now.
He might not be world champion. There might be a race-off. It might be that if he's 5th overall and Woofenden wins, there'll be a race-off for the title.
Yes, there will, because that'll be an 8-point claim back for Ty. There's the scoring system. That's all important to bear that in mind.
So I presume 3rd in semi-final 1, you get 12 points.
Yeah.
So if that happens to Zmarzlik, Woofenden wins the final, there'll be a race-off for the world final, for the World Championship.
Yeah.
Wow. Can you believe it? And this is not clear-cut at all. I don't feel that confident that Zmarzlik's going to do it, you know, Nige.
No.
He hasn't quite been on top of his game tonight.
Yeah, and a superb panoramic view of the Marion Rose Motor Arena. 2 terrific nights of speedway.
I bet it's tense in the pits
Oh,
now.
just a bit.
You could cut it with a knife. This is when it really means it, when it comes down to the crunch.
It sounds simple for Bartosz. Finished 2nd in the semi-final.
But it ain't.
And you're world champion.
But it's not. I tell you, Nige, it's not easy getting over the line. And it's proved tonight. And there are 2 guys there. Woofenden, of course, knows how to do it. He's done it 3 times before. Freddie Lindgren at 35. Is it his time? Is it his time? He has ridden so well tonight. He's going to have a good pick. He's going to have the first pick for the semi-final. Here we go for the draw.
Let's see what the boys are going for. Freddie Lindgren first, no problem. Gate 1. A reminder that the top 3 are in this semi-final.
I reckon Zmarzlik's going to end up with 4.
Where's Ty going? Gate 3. So the next one is Leon Madsen.
Where will he go? Yeah, gate 2, I fancy. Yeah. So, yeah.
Zmarzlik's got to go the long way round.
He has, and he hasn't made it work so far this evening. Zmarzlik.
He can make it work.
I can, of course he can, but by golly, I'll tell you what.
Quite a lineup, isn't it?
When he looks to his left, he's going to be shocked because
you couldn't have scripted it, could you?
It's unbelievable. The winner from last year here, and the world number 2. Here we see Maciej Janowski off the inside. Wow.
They're very quick, aren't they, to go to gate 1?
Yeah, it's the favourite. Laguta 2.
Okay.
He's had a good night.
Emil
Saifutinov. 3.
Okay.
Emil, yeah, okay. And Doyley will go off the outside. Okay, all right. Well, the 2 Russians are coming after Jason, but Jason makes the final and he's in the top 6. And that will be a great achievement for him because he started so poorly in Wrocław and has turned his form around. He's had to struggle. It hasn't been easy for him, but he's still hanging in there. But you can't get away from the fact that the top 3 in the world will go head-to-head again in semi-final number 1, and the world champion is 4 laps away from being crowned and retaining his championship. But by golly, I bet the odds are not that short anymore. They have, I reckon, he has drifted in the betting so far tonight.
If Zmarzlik finishes 3rd in his semi, he's not guaranteed 12 points, because it then depends whoever finishes 3rd in semi-final 2. If it is Jason Doyle, then yes, Bartosz would get 12. But any of the other 3 riders finished higher than him in the standings, and Bartosz would get 11.
Okay, so he needs to be in the top 2, really, to take that out of the equation, because it's beyond his control then. And of course that is dependent upon Woofenden winning the meeting, of course.
And if he's last Bartosz in the semi, he'll get 10 or 9 points.
Yeah. So,
are you with me so far?
Just about. But I'm going to keep it simple. Bartosz Zmarzlik needs to make the final, and he will then be world champion. But by golly, it looks like a mountain to climb.
Seems a long way off at the moment.
It does indeed. It's 60 seconds away, but by golly, it's going to be a tough 60 seconds. He's going to have to do something pretty special, have a little bit of good fortune in the first corner.
What are we going to get? Are we going to get a Polish world champion? Are we going to get a British world champion? Or are we going to get a Swedish world champion? You'd still, I don't know, Kelv, let me put this to you. Would you still rather be in Bartos's position here?
Well, he has the lead in the championship. And in some ways, yes, because he still has the luxury of maybe not making the final and still having a chance to win, because things have still got to go right in the final. But no, it's an incredible turn of events. I'm not sure this new point scoring system has kept it alive. As a rider, I'd hate it, but as particularly when you've been so dominant, like Bartosz Zmarzlik, it's been tough for him. But here we go, this is it, crunch time now. Not too much time to wait, and we will know exactly what's going to happen for the final. Zmarzlik already up at tapes, having a good look around on the outside. Freddie Lindgren, who did not hesitate about taking the inside gate, that has certainly been the favourite once again this evening. By golly, this is what Speedway's all about. World Championship Speedway, the tension, well, it is incredible.
It's like a run-off for the world title, this.
It's a palpable, yeah, effectively it is. Zmarzlik in the first two is world champion.
Yeah, so here we go. Huge race coming up. Semi-final one, and the top three riders battling for the world title go head-to-head. Fasten your seatbelts, here we go. Sit comfortably and fasten your seatbelts, folks. Here we go for a rocky ride. Freddie Lindgren off the inside in red, Leon Madsen off 2, Ty Woffinden off 3, Bartosz Zmarzlik off 4. Right, if Bartosz finishes third here, he will score either 12 or 11, depending on who finishes third in the second semi-final. If Bartosz finishes last, he will score either 10 or 9, depending on who finishes last in the second semi-final. Are you with me so far? If Bartosz finishes in the top 2 in this first semi-final, he is world champion. Do you get me?
I understand the last bit, and I'll tell you what, because that's the simple bit. But the fact is, it looks like a mountain to climb. 4 laps away from retaining a world championship. He hasn't been at his best tonight. He's found it difficult. There's no question about that. Freddie Lindgren is going so well. Leon Madsen is also flying. This is a huge semi-final. Here we go.
Here we go then. World title up for grabs, and they're away in this first semi-final, and Lindgren's made the start from the inside. Woffinden goes wide, and Zmarzlik is going to try the inside. Now Zmarzlik has got to pass Leon Madsen for the world title. Up the inside, Zmarzlik goes. He's in second place. Madsen's not done. He's coming back for more. Madsen tries the inside switch now. Gets there. Zmarzlik is going to return the compliment for the world title. Lindgren has the lead. Zmarzlik is second, Madsen third. Woffinden is at the back, and his title race is about to be done. Freddie Lindgren with the lead, and Bartosz Zmarzlik is closing in on a second successive world title.
Freddie out in front. Bartosz Zmarzlik has ridden out of the top draw here. This is a sensational ride from him. He came out of the outside gate. It has not been his night really so far, but it's about to be. He has ridden superbly well. He now hits the front. Bartosz Zmarzlik going to win the world championship.
Bartosz Zmarzlik is about to become only the first rider in Speedway history to be a Polish double world champion, and congratulations to him. What a performance from Bartosz Zmarzlik. A wonderful, wonderful display, and the third youngest rider to win back-to-back world titles behind Barry Briggs and Bruce Pennell in the history of the sport. Bartosz Zmarzlik is back-to-back champion of the world.
What a ride that was. I can assure you he would have been so nervous coming into that race. The Poles are delighted. The Prime Minister is absolutely chuffed to bits. He's glad he's turned up. But wow, he has had to work overtime for that this evening. Hugely popular around this country and around the world. Back-to-back Grand Prix titles. It doesn't get any better than that. Fully deserved. He has been the rider of the series. He won 3 Grand Prix this year. It's been an incredible performance. It's gone down to the semi-finals. The nerves would have been jangling, Nige. What a night for Bartosz Zmarzlik. He's on top of the world once again.
Never in doubt, Kelv. What was it, a mountain to climb?
It was a mountain.
He climbed it all right.
He climbed it all right, nearly won the race. Fantastic stuff. Excitement all over. A massive boost for the country in front of thousands of people in a stadium. That's what sport's all about, Nige. That's what we want to see. It's happening in Poland. We want to see it around the world. Bartosz Marslik, a fan favourite.
Well,
he's going to be a father next year, so it's all looking good. The family celebrate. All kisses and cuddles. I tell you what, there's got to be a lot of relief there. The dad's got a tear in his eye. He must be such a proud man. And they're a humble family, you know. They're very grounded. But look at him. He is overcome with emotion. Fantastic scenes.
And how brilliant that he's able to do it in front of fans in Torun. As you said, thousands of fans in this stadium tonight, as opposed to other countries where you can't have any.
Exactly. Listen to the atmosphere. That's what sport is for.
People enjoying themselves.
Exactly right. And Bartosz Marslik has won the championship again. And he is the man of the hour. Those back-to-back wins in Prague, Nige, really set it up. And he's won.
I love it.
Oh, I do too. And this is what it's all about. Passion, emotion. And
it's been a terrible year. It's been a terrible year, and this is wonderful what we're seeing.
It is.
This also means that Freddie Lindgren will now get the silver medal in the World Championship. So we know that Marslik is champion. Freddie will pip tie to the silver medal in the World Championship. And after an awful year worldwide, we're still going through a pandemic, a world champion is crowned, and thousands inside the stadium celebrate.
Can you believe it? Here we are, the semi-final #1, and away they go. Freddie Lindgren makes a great start. Woofenden goes a little bit too wide, and then Bartosz Marslik down the inside. Leon Madsen, they're just giving him enough room into the front. I thought he was vulnerable now. I fancied that riders might well have been able to swoop round the outside, but he rides so well here. Madsen back into second. Marslik rides well, read it beautifully, and was able to swap back to the inside to get himself back to second place, and that's where he stayed. He very nearly got the better of Freddie Lindgren here. Really came up with the ride of the night, actually, when it really mattered most, and that's to his eternal credit. Here, he's in front. Freddie responds, and a great effort for Freddie Lindgren. He was 10 points behind the leader coming in tonight, and a silver medal is a just reward for his efforts.
Let's hear from the man of the moment right now.
And breathe, Bartosz, you are the 2020 world champion. Congratulations.
Yeah. Wow, for me, so again, unbelievable night, because the year of the year, again, top one, so really nice, and but really very hard day to the head. And after yesterday, the second my racing, the little bit crash, and I not so feeling good my body, but what amazing the racing on the semi-final, and I'm happy. I'm 2 times world champion, so wow, I'm last season no dream this results, and again top one, so for me some unbelievable.
Well, Bartosz, you've still got a final to go, but back-to-back world champions as well. You join an elite few. Like you said, you couldn't have possibly dreamed this. What an amazing dream to come true.
Yes, this is a big difference, because I'm now is coming to the big hero in the speedway. So Tony Ricardson, Nicky Pedersen, and who is next one? But the years on the year, so 2 times, all the time world champion. So unbelievable feeling, and I don't know what to say now, because really I don't remember, I don't believe you, this one.
Oh, well, congratulations, Bartosz. An amazing, amazing finish to 2020 for you. Get back out there for the final.
Congratulations, Bartosz Marslik.
Oh,
I should clarify, by the way, that there can still be a runoff for second spot. I did say Freddie had got the silver. He's almost got the silver. Okay. There could still be a runoff. I didn't quite get my maths right there. cut me a bit of slack.
I tell you what, I might do, but I tell you what, he just summed it up there, very tough in the head, and I tell you what, he was under a lot of pressure there. He showed it last night in Heat 18, when he came through in flying colours there, when he needed to win a race, he did, and that kept the championship on track. And then tonight, when things weren't going quite as well as he would have liked, that unbelievable ride there to get the better of Leon Madsen and Ty Woffen to make sure that he's in the final to retain his championship. All credit to him. That really is a marvellous achievement, and I think possibly this one will mean more than the first one, because it's so tough. It's a pandemic. He had to wait so long before he could even ride this year. He had to wait until June. And, you know, I was saying to some friends at home, this is not the year to be world champion when you can't even race. And now we've seen him crowned world champion again. Fantastic achievement.
Here's the second semi-final then. Matt Sayanovsky goes off the inside, Artem Laguta off 2, Emil Sayfutdinov off 3, and Jason Doyle off the outside. Now, Sayfutdinov and Laguta are really in the hunt for the 6th place, the automatic spot for next year.
Yeah.
If Doyle qualifies for the final, he will get that spot.
Yeah.
If you try and count back and try and be as accurate as you possibly can.
Very difficult to be. So, you know, Doyle needs to make the final, and then all that hard work he's put in will pay off, and he'll be guaranteed a spot. I fully expect him to get a pick if he doesn't make it, but the two Russians have certainly put him under a lot of pressure and have ridden well tonight. They've got better and better this evening, particularly that man coming out of gate number 3. And Matvey Yanovsky is looking good and could well win the night, and has ridden so well. He's got 12 points, and there wouldn't be a big surprise if he won the final. But semi-final number 2, valuable World Championship points on the line. These boys have still got, certainly 3 of them, have got plenty to race for here.
Yes, they have. If Doyle qualifies for the final, and Emil doesn't, then yes, he'll be okay for next year. So let's see how it goes. Here we go with the second semi-final. Good start from Laguta off gate 2. Sayfutdinov's there. Doyle's going to have to whip up the inside. It's a good start from Maciej Kianowski. And now here comes Doyle up the inside, challenging Laguta. Can he get there? Can he get the drop? Oh, it's getting all very tight up top. Sayfutdinov's coming back for more as well. Good speedway again in this second semi-final. Janowski holds the lead. Laguta second, and the front 2 are pulling clear.
They are indeed. Janowski once again showing great speed. Laguta up the inside of him, pushing him awfully hard. Sayfutdinov has come through into 3rd. Doyle's going to have to work hard. He does. Oh, big decision now for the referee. Dornick Charles back up the inside of Emil Sayfutdinov. Not quite sure which way that's going to go, but it was very close indeed.
Will it come down to contact, pure contact?
Possibly. It was difficult to see if there was contact, but certainly it was a hard charging move from Jason Doyle. When he came back up the inside, he must be in danger of being excluded. Emil Sayfutdinov just getting a bit of attention. Let's see it here.
Is there any contact?
Difficult from that angle. Might have been a touch.
Well, I'm not sure about this. You know, Doyle is ahead there.
Takes his front wheel, and
I can see it both ways, Kelv.
Difficult one. 50-50 call, isn't it?
That was why I'd never be a referee.
At this track, it's happened to Emil earlier on with Niels Christian Iversen, and Iversen was thrown out. So, you know, if Christer Gardell takes the same view, then you would think that Doyle will be the one that goes.
Yeah, so this is a good angle of it, going into the turn.
Yeah.
I don't know what. That's why I'm not a referee. And
it could go either way, couldn't it? It could really go either way. He's just about got by him there, but it tightens up there, and he's left with nowhere to go. As I say, earlier on, Niels Christian Iversen did a similar move and got thrown out. So Christer Gardell had sort of got previous with this.
I'm not sure there's any contact there, Kelv. That's the thing. I'm not sure there's any contact.
If there is, it's minimal.
Well, there you go. Emil Sayfutdinov is excluded from the restart. 3 riders only, and Emil is absolutely furious. Well, Christer Gardell, for his final Grand Prix, has had 1 or 2 things to think about tonight.
Yeah, they're not the sort of decisions you'd want to have to make, that's for sure. Emil is not happy, but either of them wouldn't have been happy. He would say that he was taken down. He probably was a touch fortunate earlier on, to be honest, because when Niels Christian Iversen went by him, I thought that Niels was harshly done by that then, and maybe that's just come back to haunt him. Jason straight-lined it, got up the inside. He is by. There isn't a lot of contact, I agree, but the problem is what you don't... When you're in that position there, now, you're extremely vulnerable. You do not need much to knock you down. You really don't.
I don't know why people put their hands up to become an official when they have to make decisions.
There is a little bit.
I get asked to run the line on a Sunday morning for my boys' football team. I say, no way am I carrying that flag. No way.
No. So the decision's made.
And if I was a referee, I wouldn't be commentating.
He's going to talk to the referee, but I doubt very much it will make any difference.
It'll make no difference at all.
But Jason Doyle is in the rerun, so he's got a chance of making the final now. So a hard charging move, and the former world champion.
Well, there's only Laguta now. There's only Artem Laguta now, 8 points behind Jason, that can catch Doyle for that 6th spot. So that decision alone...
But I tell you what, Jason Doyle has got to come up with a pretty special ride, because Matvey Janowski and Artem Laguta are fast, and they're faster. On evidence so far, they're faster than Doyle. Doyle's got to really ride like his life depends on it here if he wants to make the final and secure the top 6 place, because Laguta looked really good then, and you have no reason to think that he won't be able to reproduce it once again. But a short conversation, no way the ref ever changes his mind. He'll give his reasons why he excluded him. Probably just felt that there wasn't enough contact.
Yes.
There was slight contact, but when you're in that position on a speedway bike, difficult if you haven't been on one, you are extremely vulnerable. You don't need much contact to go down, because you are balancing on the edge of the tyres. But unfortunately for him, it hasn't gone his way this time.
So that was a 50-50 call then, Kelv, really?
It was, and when you looked at Niels Christian Iversen earlier, he was the one that had passed up the inside, and Emil hit him. It was Niels Christian Iversen that got thrown out, so he's kind of gone against his original decision there, so not quite as consistent as you would have liked, really, but there we are. Matvey Janowski's fan club are here in numbers. They're enjoying his performance tonight, and rightly so. He's been super tonight, there's no question.
Been a good speedway meet. He's dragging on a bit now.
Yeah, obviously the celebrations from the first semi-final understandable, but there's been a bit of a few restarts and some extended track grading as well. That's certainly had an impact on the length of the meeting.
Well, we have got more World Championship Speedway to come in a couple of weeks' time. A reminder, we have the Speedway of Nations in Lublin in Poland on the Friday and the Saturday, 2 weeks' time. Hope you can join us for that around the world. Australia and, of course, in the UK. Can Great Britain get a gold medal? I'm sure the selection will be confirmed as Ty Woofenden and Robert Lambert with Dan Bewley at under-21 reserve.
Good side, that's
my prediction, and
I think we would.
I don't think I'm putting my neck on the line too ambitiously there, am I?
Fair play to you, mate. You know, really going out on a limb there, mate. I think we would have had a better chance at Manchester. I think Bellevue would have suited us. Both Robert Lambert and Woofenden ride the place so well, but it's a good lineup for Great Britain.
Well, if Jason Doyle finishes 3rd here, we can confirm that Ty Woofenden will finish on 12 points tonight. So that's just another thing to, another aspect to work into the equation here on this dramatic night of World Championship Speedway in Torun. Congratulations again to, I would say, the new world champion, but he's not, is he? He's the current reigning and now 2020 world champion.
2-time world champion.
Bartosz Marslik, yeah.
Fantastic.
Brilliant. And an achievement that Thomas Gollop couldn't manage, 2 world titles.
No. Incredibly, that is quite incredible.
Look at the era of riders he was with, though.
Yeah.
Nicky, Tony, you know, Jason at their peak.
Greg.
An amazing era.
Hans Nilsson, yeah, it was a tough time.
Yep, semi-final 2, second time of asking. Good start, Janowski. Now, what can Doyle do? Is he going to try the inside switch on Laguta? He has done. That allows Laguta room around the outside, and Doyle leaves that room. Laguta holds 2nd place. Magic Janowski is the leader here. 2nd place is Artem Laguta. If it stays like this, we know that Ty Woofenden will finish on 12 points tonight.
We will indeed. It's deja vu for the first two. Jason Doyle just hasn't quite got the pace to stick with the front two. He's going to have to produce something very, very special, or a mechanical failure for him to make the final this evening, and that'll be disappointing for him. Just missed out last night as well, although he still scored 9 points. He just missed the semi-finals. He's gone one step further this evening. Maciej Janowski is riding superbly well. Looks super good out in front, and he's going to have a good pick for the final, that's for sure. And Artem Laguta is enjoying conditions as well. Fair play to him.
Yeah, good ride from Maciej Janowski. Super stuff from him. Second place, Artem Laguta. And that's good. Good speedway. Once again, second semi-final. We know our 4 finalists now. So Tai Woffinden's season is done with a total of 117 points. So if Freddie finishes last in the final, he'll be on 117 as well and would have a runoff.
We would indeed.
So there you go.
Yeah.
I think I've got that right.
Okay.
Janowski, Laguta, Doyle and Saifudinov is your finishing order in the second semi-final. And we've still got the final to come, the final race of the Grand Prix campaign.
Lovely ride here again from Maciej Janowski. Second time of asking, he makes the same start. I expect him to take that for the final as well. And Artem Laguta coming swooping around the outside. Nice ride from him. And he's through to another final. Of course, these front two dominated the first 2 rounds of the year, of course, in Wrocław, with Artem winning from Friday night and Janowski coming through on Saturday. Will one of them pick up a second Grand Prix win of the year? I'm sure they'd be delighted to do so. If Artem Laguta wins this evening, then you've got to believe that that will give him every chance of being put back in the series next year. He may even leapfrog, I don't know exactly the maths here, but he may even leapfrog Jason Doyle as a consequence of a win. He was 8 points behind, quite possibly would do in actual fact. So here we see. Now we're going to wait for the all-important draw. There'll be a bit of time. I know Nigel furiously working away and trying to predict the mass. Not easy with this new system, is it?
No.
But
I'm having a bit of a night. My head's aching, actually.
117 points is where is there. So Lindgren comes into the final on 103.
Right.
So if Freddie Lindgren finishes 4th in the final, he will then have a race-off with Tai Woffinden for 2nd and 3rd.
Tai finished 3rd in his semi-final 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where I'm going wrong in my calculations here. Oh, Kelv. My head's
I'm pretty
aching.
sure he did. I'm pretty sure it was tight between him and Madsen.
Yeah. Yep.
If he's got 12, then he's finished on 117. I'm working off 117. And if Freddie finishes in 4th place in the final, then there will be a race-off for 2nd and 3rd.
Right. So Doyley's on 86. Laguta's on 68. 68, 78.
If he wins, he'll just leapfrog him by 2 points.
Yeah, right.
So Woffinden's got 12.
Oh, Doyle's got 11, not 10.
Okay, so that gives him a bit more of a chance. Still a good chance of Jason finishing in the top 6 by the skin of his teeth.
So if Laguta wins the Grand Prix, he'll finish on 88 and pip Jason to 8th place.
Exactly, and
right,
he could
we got there.
He could do, because he's riding nicely, and I don't think he's quite got the beating of Maciej Janowski unless he makes a start on him. He's got to make the start on him, and I think if he hits the front, he could well win from there. But the 2 lads that probably got penalised with the analyst tyre being removed from the Grand Prix series are actually finishing well, and that's pleasing to see, because I just sense it unsettled them a little bit, and when they couldn't use them anymore. So coming here this evening, they're riding really nicely, so that's good to see. Fantastic, of course, for Bartosz Marslik. He'll probably go out and win the final now the pressure's off, and he'll be delighted too. But Poland really have got a superstar on their hands now He won last year in fine style. He has been outstanding. I think his best performance was the second night in Prague, where he really was just incredible. And the final between Woofenden and Smarslik that night was a sight to behold. Woofenden has come close. He won't be champion. He'll either be second or third, but still a good campaign from him. He hasn't been fully fit in the last few rounds with a fractured hand, so he's still ridden very well indeed.
Well, Jason Doyle will stick around and watch this final, I'm sure, because...
Well, there's permutations for him.
There are permutations, and if, say for example now, Laguta wins the final and Freddie finishes last, Laguta will pass Jason into 6th place for next year's series, and Freddie and Ty will have a run-off for 2nd place.
Yeah, so there will be an 8th race to go, or one extra race effectively. So yeah, it's still some scenarios to be worked out. But I just sense that Janowski's got the beating of all of people here. Great to see people back in stadiums. No, not many masks being worn, and certainly all enjoying themselves. Freddie gets the first skate. He goes from the inside, no surprise. And that's Janowski, gate 3 maybe for him. He might want to do that. No, gate 2. Gate 2 for Magic. Gate 3 for Laguta. And the new world champion, or the world champion for 2020.
Back-to-back world champion.
Back-to-back world champion. 2-time world champion. Whatever you want to say, he goes from gate 4. So we've got...
Who's in 1, sorry?
Lindgren.
Lindgren, sorry, I was trying to work out all the maths.
Lindgren, Janowski, Laguti, and Smarslik off the outside. Good-looking final. Good-looking final. One or two, I would have expected Woofenden to have made it tonight, but not quite to be, because of that stunning ride by Smarslik and Freddie Lindgren in the first semi-final. I just thought that Smarslik wasn't quite going to do it there, you know, but fair play to him. He came up trumps when he really needed to. There'll be celebrations this evening, although he's got a ride tomorrow, so he won't be able to get on the lash tonight, Nige.
There you go again.
Because he's got a big league match against Wrocław to determine who goes to the final in the Extraliga. And so, yeah, I'm sure there'll be a half a lager here or there, but not too much. I think after the Speedway of Nations, I'm sure he'll be able to relax and really let it all sink in, because I'm sure he'll be representing Poland alongside probably, I think, Maciej Janowski. Not sure who the under-21 rider will be actually for Poland.
Well, who's going to win the Grand Prix?
I fancy Janowski.
Yeah.
I think he's got the speed to do it. He's looked so good. I mean, he's actually, apart from that race where the chain came off, he's won every race.
Yes.
So, you know, he is the form man. And he won the second Grand Prix in Wrocław. And to win the last one, as I say, I'm pleased, because there's no doubt that the tyre issue must have affected both of Laguta and Janowski. And they've got over that now, and they're riding well tonight on Mitas tyres. Happy fans up on the big screen. Tell you what, it looks like just a normal night, this just looks like back to normal, and it's so refreshing to see. And when you've got a home crowd and a home world champion celebrating in front of thousands of people, it just felt right, didn't it, Nige?
Yeah, it's brilliant to see, and I'm not understating the seriousness of the pandemic. In no way, shape or form, a lot of people have died. But these people have been given the opportunity to make their own choice whether to come to an outdoor sporting event in the fresh air, and they've decided to do so.
Fair play. And, you know, it's a great shame when people are achieving marvellous, significant milestones in their life and people aren't being able to watch it. It really is a great shame. But one big race to go in this year's championship. The back-to-back meetings, I think, have been a success. It'll be interesting to see if that is continued. It would be very, it will be a shame if they're dropped completely. Won't it? Because that's been a success in my book. I haven't met anybody that doesn't like them.
No, I think it's great.
You know, and I think that it will be good if the organisers could actually have maybe 3 or 4 rounds where they were back, not every round, back-to-back, but certainly the T-shirts are on, proudly being worn, the 2020 World Champion. The suit's being prepared for the rostrum.
The golden suit.
The golden suit being prepared for the rostrum. I do hope he doesn't get changed out on the centre green. That would be...
Well, he can't use the change. Well, if it was in the UK, he couldn't use the changing rooms, could he?
I think you can here.
The British final Monday at Bellevue, all the boys absolutely caked in mud. Had to get changed in the vans.
And go home filthy. Lovely.
Yeah. What are we waiting for now?
I've no idea. No idea.
I don't know what's up. Yeah. My director in my earpiece is saying I've got no idea what's going on. Well. And the clock ticks by on this Saturday night.
Slightly confused by that, actually, but
it just makes you wonder what is going on. Is there a question mark over something, or I don't know.
Whether the FIM are just being completely clear on things, I don't know. I think this is down to what people, the different scenarios, you know.
Yeah, but it's clear cut, Kelv. We've worked it out ourselves. Right, Jason Doyle's on 87 points. Artem Laguta wins the Grand Prix, moves on to 88.
So he goes into the top 6.
If he doesn't win the Grand Prix, Jason Doyle stays 6th.
Yeah.
Okay. If Freddie Lindgren finishes last and gets 14 points,
there'll be a race off.
It'll be level with Ty Woffordham for 2nd and 3rd on 117.
Yeah. But there must be some confusion over that.
This is well, this isn't doing many people many favours here, Kelv.
Here we go.
If the people in charge can't even work out the scoring system. Right. So anyway,
we've got riders on their way to the start finally, so that's good news. I'm going to put my money, I'm going to put my pound on Matvej Janowski here, Nige.
Yes.
I think he might just pull this off.
He does. If he does that, he finishes on 109. 109, so yeah.
He'll be 4th.
Good effort. So we're up to the final then. Right, let's get re-energized. Let's get reset. Let's go again.
Okay.
Here we go with the final. Here we go with the final. Freddie Lindgren off the inside, and if he can finish 3rd or better, he will be world number 2. Matvej Janowski off the gate number 2 position in blue. Artem Laguta, a win. He finishes 6th and books his place in next year's series, marginally above Jason Doyle. Off the outside, Bartosz Marslik. Who cares? He's world champion.
He doesn't. I'm sure he'd love to win, though. The pressure's off, and he said that he was really feeling the pressure tonight mentally, but he's come through with that wonderful ride in the first semi-final. He's off the outside again. This man has been superb. The only time he got beaten was when his bike packed up on the start line, so he is really the form man, and he's my favourite to win the final tonight. Freddie Lindgren has certainly given himself every chance of being number 2 in the world, and I expect him to do that. And Artem Laguta and Matvej Janowski, I'm pleased they've come good here. The tyre issue has affected them, there's no doubt about that. They're the winners from the first 2 rounds on the analyst tyre. They're having to race on Mitas now, but they've both ridden very well this evening. Been a great season. I've loved the back-to-back. Hopefully this will be the last race of the night.
Here we go. The grand final in Torun and the final round of the World Championship.
Oh my goodness.
Freddie Lindgren's had a nightmare at the start. It's looking like a runoff.
It is indeed.
Matt Janowski with the lead, and here comes Artem Laguta. Jason Doyle will be cheering Matt Janowski on here. Janowski has that lead. Here comes Smarslik up the inside.
Oh!
Stop all! Stay on your bikes, boys. Don't ruin it now. And Smarslik is coming through. The world champion again piles through. Here comes Janowski, but Smarslik closes the door.
Unbelievable ride again from Bartosz Smarslik. Mate, you don't need to do it. You've already done the hard yards. But he doesn't know. He's a racer, he's a winner, and he's out in front, and he's going to win the Grand Prix. Janowski with such a fine start. You've got to feel for Freddie Lindgren there. We don't know what's happened, but some sort of mechanical issue. We're going to see another race, because Ty Woofenden's going to have to warm his bike up, because he's going to have to go head-to-head with Freddie. But for this man, he's going to be crowned world champion and the Grand Prix winner.
What a result for Bartosz Smarslik. Rounds off the championship in some style, and he cannot believe it. A shake of the head. He won the world title a few moments ago. He's won the Grand Prix now. A fairy tale night for Emil Sayfutdinov in Torun.
Bartosz Smarslik. What
did I say?
Emil Sayfutdinov.
Somebody in my ear was saying Emil Sayfutdinov.
Bartosz Smarslik has won 4.
We're trying to work out these maths.
Emil Sayfutdinov wasn't actually in the race. He wasn't in the race.
I'm getting somebody in my ear telling me the positions.
Just keep quiet for a minute. Bartosz Smarslik, that is an incredible finish to the night. Wow, the place has just gone crazy. He's won 4 Grand Prix. He has been the outstanding rider through the championship.
Fantastic.
It's got tight at times, but by golly, when the chips were down, he has come through. Fantastic ride.
I repeat, a fairy tale night for Bartosz Smarslik.
That's right.
Brilliant.
Got it right this time.
Absolutely brilliant.
Everybody deserves a second chance.
Even me. I don't think everybody agrees with that, but who cares?
Right, there we go.
Brilliant.
But we're going to see another race, Nige, because whatever happens now to Freddie's bike, that means that Ty Woofenden and him will go head-to-head for the silver and bronze. From this moment, at this early stage of the race, you've got to believe that Maciej Janowski was going to cruise through to another Grand Prix win. But Bartosz Smarslik doesn't know how to just settle for a place, does he? He just races to the checkered flag, and that's to his eternal credit. Here he comes roaring up the inside. And then he comes roaring. I tell you what, that was very tight. The old dirt deflector had a bit of a working over there, and he's ridden so well in the last 2 races. The pressure off, riding for fun, roars through and wins the Grand Prix round number 8 here in Torun tonight. That is a fantastic performance, and I tell you what, Nigel, this man is going to be around for some time.
Oh, he's got loads of time on his side.
He's going to be around for some time. He's going to be a multiple, it wouldn't surprise me if he wins 2 or 3 more World Championships.
Maybe more, yeah, absolutely. What a night. A fairy tale night.
A fairy tale night for Bartosz Smarslik. I'm
got to say, well done, Jason Doyle, as well, Kel.
I'm sure that Emil Sayfutdinov would wished that it had been a fairy tale night for him, but it wasn't, unfortunately. But there we are.
Literally, I can only try and defend myself by saying I have got voices in my headphones shouting out names and points.
Don't try, mate. Just try. Just leave it.
I should turn the headphones off and just focus on my own maths.
Just leave it, mate. Just leave it.
I hope I'll be on mic duty for the Speedway of Nations. I don't think that's guaranteed, but there we are.
I think a bit like Niels Christian Everson, you need to take a step back before you can take a couple forwards. Anyway, here we go.
Oh, dear. Right.
Here we are. Here we see how it's worked out.
So there we are. Here's the categories for tonight now. So 20 points for the winner, 18 for second, 16 for third, and 14 for fourth. Insert the riders' names there.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think the maths were right.
Oh, your maths were spot on. Just you didn't always get the personnel right. But there we are. Bartosz Smarslik, the winner of the World Championship and the winner on the evening. We have seen that happen before. But it must be a wonderful feeling. As I say, he can't celebrate too hard tonight because he's got to go and represent Gorzów, Stal Gorzów tomorrow against Wrocław in a very important extra-liga race meeting. Here we see we've got one more race, of course.
We have.
All-important race-off for second and third in the world. And at the end of the day, here we see Phil Morris taking charge.
Red and white. Red will be the inside half, white will be the outside half, okay?
It's a random pick here.
If you can move to the side so the TV can see. You decide what you want, guys. You want to pick first, you want to pick first, you agree or?
Should be a coin toss.
Should be a coin toss.
Should be a coin toss. Freddie goes for gate the outside.
Yeah.
Very surprised at that.
Line in the middle, so you can use 3 or 4.
So it's 1 or 2 for Ty and 3 or 4 for Freddie.
Spot on.
Yep.
Very unusual that there isn't a coin toss for that, but there we are.
Yeah, well, I think
And
they
normally,
agreed.
I must have done.
It was a gentleman's agreement who was going to go first there.
Normally, when I had a runoff for my first world title, you have a coin toss and then you have the choice. But not to be tonight, slightly different. Nonetheless, Freddie Lindgren will take, I reckon he'll go between gates 3 and 4. He won't go right up against the safety fence. And Woofenden will probably do something similar. There is sometimes some fresh material where they actually mark out the track. And because there's only 2 riders, then you might just find a little bit of extra grip there. So we shall see.
And actually, Kelv, as well, what that means, that result with Bartosz's win, it means that the margin of victory does not tell the story of how tense it got.
No.
Because Bartosz has scored 133 points now,
yeah,
and it is 16 points clear of Ty and Freddie. And yet just 10, 15, 20 minutes ago, he was absolutely nervous about actually winning the world title at all.
Well, he could have lost it, couldn't he? He was 60 seconds away from winning it or losing it, which is quite an incredible. What a roller coaster of a night and emotion it's been. He will be tired tomorrow mentally, and he'll have to dig in deep to ride hard to secure the points tomorrow for Gorjov. Very important, the Extra Liga in this part of the world, of course, and they are into the playoffs. It's a rearranged fixture against Wrocław that was rained off last week. So we will wait now for the 2 boys to come out to go head-to-head.
First ever Grand Prix runoff for a silver medal.
Okay.
We've had a runoff for 3rd, and we've had a runoff for top 8 spot, but we've never actually had a runoff for the silver medal.
Okay,
so
the first for everything. I don't know quite which way this is going to go, you know. Freddie's been very good tonight. Ty has been also very consistent, but Freddie seemed very keen to do well.
Yes.
Both of them have done better than last year. Of course, Woofenden had that back injury last year, which really did hamper his efforts. And Freddie just missed out with Leon Madsen finishing runner-up, with Emil Saifutinov in 3rd place. Interesting to know what happened to Freddie's bike there. That was a real blow, whether he had a chain brake or whether it was an engine failure. Looks like the same bike, so it looks to me like he may have had a chain brake on the start, you know. So that was a blow for Freddie. He didn't really deserve that, did he? And he had to be in the first 3, and he would have been the 2nd in the world already. But work to be done, Nige.
There is indeed. So here we go with the silver medal runoff between 2 Wolverhampton assets in the UK. Former teammates of Monmouth.
Well, they were very prolific, weren't they? 2016, I believe, they were both in the team and they won the league. Brilliant.
Yep. Ty Woofenden off the inside gate. Freddie Lindgren going off the gate number 3 position of the outside gate picks. So there you go. Good luck to both boys. They've both done really well this season in the medal positions, and both pushing Bartosz to the limit tonight. But I think really overlooking the series, it's a fair result. It's a fair outcome. The final scores reflect
the
it.
right
really.
man's won,
Yeah.
because you know he's won 4 GPs. He's dominated the series. In actual fact, the new point scoring system has kept it much closer than it would have been.
Yes.
And that's why we've had the tension tonight, which is great for the neutral. As a rider, I'm not sure I would always enjoy it, but nonetheless, that's what you've had to deal with. And that gives more kudos for me that Bartosz Marslikas has managed to do it.
Well, in the old money, Bartosz would have been world champion after his 3rd ride tonight.
Okay, well there we are.
He did it after his 6th ride.
And I can assure you, I'm sure you would have preferred that.
Yes, absolutely.
Here we go then, Nige.
Yep, it's a runoff for the silver medal in Torun. Ty Woffinden in red, 3 times world champion, the Great Britain man, and Freddie Lindgren is the man in white from Sweden, former teammates at Wolverhampton. Here comes Lindgren now, he's going to throw everything at Ty. Woffinden holds the lead, Lindgren second right now. It's a straight shootout between these two. 1 lap gone, Woffinden holds the line. Can he notch a silver medal? Once again here to add to his 3 world titles, but Lindgren is far from done, Cal.
Freddie coming on strong, he really wants to hunt him down. Certainly the inside gate proved to be the one for Woffinden. He's riding a clever line, inside, outside. He's keeping Freddie Lindgren guessing. They're getting later on here. Freddie getting a little bit desperate there, a little bit untidy. Woffinden there hanging on out in front. Lap to go. Should do it from there. He's got some breathing room now.
Well, I think he's ridden a nice line here.
Brilliant
he's kept
line.
Lindgren at bay. Freddie tried everything there, but Ty Woffinden is going to be world number 2. That's a good achievement for Ty Woffinden. 3 times world champion, as we say. Freddie Lindgren is world number 3. And well done to both those boys, because they've given us a lot of entertainment over the course of this shortened Grand Prix campaign.
Absolutely
well done, Ty.
right.
Well done, Freddie. Great stuff.
Yeah, Freddie's ridden superbly well this year. He's made 6 finals, and he's been a winner as well. Ty Woffinden just not quite good enough. Hasn't won a Grand Prix this year, but has been very consistent, and finishes up with a silver medal. But he's used to winning gold medals, so I'm sure he'd be pleased with that. But once you've been a winner, you'd want to win them. But here we see the final results now.
Yep, so Bartosz Marslik wins the world title on 133. Woffinden and Lindgren level for second, but Woffinden wins the runoff. And as you can see, the top 6 rounded off by Jason Doyle on 87 points, just ahead of Artem Laguta. The top 6 there are confirmed as Grand Prix riders in 2021.
And I reckon 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th will get wild cards.
There you go. And here's the golden helmet and the golden Kevlars.
Fantastic moment. Fresh bike, out on track. Just a victory lap for the new champion. And wow, did he do it in style in the end. Fantastic performance. He had it tough all night. And you've got to believe that his heart was racing when he came to the tapes in semi-final number 1. It really was quite a dramatic end to the meeting, and then coming through to win the Grand Prix, well, that was the icing on the cake. There's the family and his partner there, who is pregnant and is going to be a mum next year, and Bartosz will become a dad. But as I've said, they're a very grounded group, and there's no doubt that this year he's still retained the hunger. He won't win every year, but I tell you what, I think he has got more world championships in him.
Has it helped, and I don't like to make this point because it's a pandemic, has it helped to have 6 of the 8 rounds in Poland for Bartosz? The question's going to be asked, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's your opinion?
I thought that the weight of expectation might have weighed heavy on the Polish boys, but I would say, on reflection, I would say it's probably helped them. They haven't had to travel, they're living in their own countries. In Gorzów, he went to his own home, he slept in his own bed. So possibly you could argue that, but you can't deny when he went to Prague, he won both Grand Prix. He had a terrible record there, and he produced the goods. And yeah, you can nitpick on that, but for me, I think he deservedly the winner.
Bartosz Marslik, you are our 2020 world champion, you are our Speedway Grand Prix Round 8 Torun champion, and you've won back-to-back titles, and you have some very spanky new overalls as well.
Wow, what a night for me and the Polish guys. It's unbelievable, I think so. And again, last racing they also win, so for me so nice. And I don't know what they say now because wow, I don't feeling maybe this moment, but I must waiting maybe 1 hour and I feel this one what they're doing today.
Well, Bartosz, congratulations. You said it before, it's a dream come true. You joined that elite few of back-to-back Speedway Grand Prix winners. Just enjoy tonight. It doesn't get better than this.
Thank you very much. And dziękuję bardzo za to, że mnie tak bardzo dopingowaliście przez te 2 dni. Szczerze mówiąc, za każdym razem słyszałem gorący doping i to mnie bardzo mobilizowało, ale troszeczkę też stresowało, bo wiedziałem, że nie mogę was zawieść, ale bardzo się cieszę, że dzisiaj rundę w Toruniu wygrałem cały cykl Mistrzostw Świata, 2. raz z rzędu. I powiem tak, ja mam jeszcze wiele marzeń i będę robił wszystko, żeby do nich dążyć. Trzymajcie za mnie kciuki, jedziemy, ja to też zrobiłem dla Polski, żeby pokazać, że w Polsce żużel jest naprawdę bardzo mocny. Dziękuję.
Congratulations, Bartosz.
Wow, what a night for Bartosz Zmarzlik. He is now the new hero, and in this part of the world, in Poland, he is now a genuine superstar. And Maciej Janowski, probably a touch disappointed in second place. Had ridden so well, was looking good, but an incredible ride in the final from the champion. And congratulations all round. I'm sure we could well see all 3 of those riders actually in 2 weeks' time in the Speedway of Nations. Of course, Laguta and Saifutinov have won it for the last 2 years. Will they make it a treble? You've got to believe that the Poles will have a good chance in Lublin. But we will now hear the national anthem.
Dziękujemy pięknie. Wielkie brawa i oklaski.
Well, here we go. Now the prizes. It's been a terrific series, I've got to say. I've enjoyed the back-to-back meetings. I think that credit to everybody getting it on. It's been difficult. But to finish here in Torun, which is a smashing place to finish the championship, in front of thousands of fans is very apt. I think it really gives it a big boost and just shows what can be achieved, and maybe some normality can return to the world.
Hope so, yeah.
I do indeed.
It's been some terrific. I think Wrocław was a brilliant start to the series.
Yeah.
Saw some great racing. We saw some good stuff last night as well. Second night in Prague was good.
Yeah, first night was okay.
Yeah.
Second night really came alive. Track was better, and I think Zmarzlik certainly rode superbly well. And that's really, for me, where he stamped his authority on the series when he won back-to-back Grand Prix at a venue he hasn't done well at before. But Zmarzlik, I don't know if he was saying a prayer, but certainly he's. I think it's just beginning to sink in, Nige. It's all been action, and I can remember seeing his first ride in the league this year. He touched the tapes, and I thought, oh, he's had to wait a long time to do it. But Prime Minister of Poland.
Wow.
I mean, that just shows you the profile of the sport in this part of the world.
Yes.
I can't imagine
huge.
Boris Johnson giving out the prizes in Cardiff. I just can't see it. I know that he gets around, but it would be great if he did. But no, can you imagine that he's won the World Championship, he's won the Grand Prix in front of the Prime Minister? That's a big deal.
Yeah,
that is
absolutely.
a big deal.
Yeah. Well, pictures to make memories for life. And
Bartosz Zmarzlik is going to be a national hero now.
Of course he is, yeah.
He'll be a household name.
First ever Polish rider to win 2 world titles.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's brilliant. In a year, of course, where sadly the sport lost the 1973 world champion from Poland, Jerzy Sazakiel.
Very apt to that. Very good point.
So, clear the podium, boys. It's time to move on to the World Championship. And confirmation, as we say, I'm pleased that although I got a name wrong here and there, my maths were spot on, Kel.
No, you got the maths right, Nige. It was just, you know, you promoted Saifutinov from 8
to world champion,
which I'm sure he would have been happy to take. But there we are. Freddie Lindgren.
I'll sleep well tonight.
He will.
Yeah.
Freddie Lindgren, I'm sure he's pleased with third, but you know, he's mid-30s now. He's been trying a long time. He looked like he could be world champion at one stage. I think certainly after when he won the second meeting in Gorzów, I thought, well, maybe it could be his year. You know, he'd made every final up until that point.
He's been brilliant. He has got a world title in him if age doesn't catch up on him. That's
fit.
my opinion.
He's really
he's fitter than ever before.
He's really fit. Ty, he's got another world championship in him, that's for sure.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, second in the world this year. Hasn't been quite at his best, but still, nonetheless, he has ridden really well and been very consistent. I think he'll be a touch disappointed he hasn't won a Grand Prix, but nonetheless, he's done a very good job.
Done a great job, and he's admitted he's himself, by his own admission, he's not been at his best.
No.
He's got another gear or two, and if he can go up those gears in next year's World Championship, which we would expect to be over a longer period of time, Kelv, because the pandemic is nothing new from here now, so maybe we can have a more regular calendar next year, a more normal, conventional calendar, then perhaps Ty can go up a level or two. World champion Bartosz Zmarzlik for his second successive year. Congratulations to him. Great celebration time for him. He's got that big date tomorrow, as you said, Kelv.
Yeah, the extra league
Gorzów
kicks back into action.
Yeah.
There we go again.
We've heard this before. Well, congratulations, Bartosz Zmarzlik. Well deserved. And the point I made, Kelv, about the final scorings and standings are more of a fair reflection of the way Bartosz has dominated, but it doesn't tell the true story of how tense it got, does it?
Not at all. You know, he could very easily have thrown it away. You know, he needed to get in the top two to make the final in the semi-final, but it wasn't looking likely. It struggled really to make the semi-final, and the pressure was beginning to tell, and he admitted that when he was interviewed straight away after. But no, it's a wonderful achievement for him.
Here comes the trophy.
Here's what they all race for. The Prime Minister in on the act once again. Fantastic for him.
That's heavy as well, that trophy. The base of it makes it really heavy. But he's carried the expectations of a nation tonight, Bartos.
He has indeed, and Thomas Golub did it for 2 decades. And this man has picked up the mantle, and he is doing the hard yards that Golub did for so long. And he is the new hero. As I've said before, he will now be our household name. He's a very popular in the Speedway world, but I think this victory tonight will he'll cross over into mainstream now. I'm sure he'll be a very popular man. He'll be doing all sorts of talk shows and have appearances through the winter, that's for sure. He's going to be a busy boy. But as I said, he's got a very grounded family, so I don't expect it to go to his head. And I'm sure he'll be back next year firing on all cylinders. Delight, what a night for him. Fantastic.
Yep, celebrations, and well done, Bartosz Marslik, a well-deserved champion of the world. Great respect between the two of them as well, between Ty and Bartosz. They've put on some great entertainment for us this year.
Well, we've got the ticker tape time, and we've got possibly some fireworks to come as well.
Did he nearly drop the trophy there?
I tell you, it looks like it's coming apart. But mask off, smiles for the cameras. Fantastic.
Yeah, well deserved. Speedway Nations in a couple of weeks, looking forward to that.
I am. Well, Birmingham, of course, can take some credit for his win tonight. Of course, that rich history that he had with the Birmingham Brummies. We saw him ride their night.
4 rides, was it?
4 rides. Made a big impact on his career.
Not sure if he's been paid yet for that. There we are. People wonder why he didn't come back.
Fantastic.
Anyway.
But he's been riding in Sweden and, of course, his home club.
Man from the FIM having a selfie with the world champion. Very good.
Fantastic.
Right, been a great season, Kelv. Enjoyed it. Your closing thoughts?
Well, he's the right winner. You know, he has been an outstanding. I think the double headers has been an added bonus from the pandemic. I'm delighted that we had a world championship, and I think we've got the right man winning. I think he's the best rider in the world right now.
Enjoyed your company, Kelv. See you in a fortnight for the Speedway of Nations.
Cheers.
And we thank you around the world for enjoying the action with us over the course of 8 rounds. And we'll see you for the Speedway of Nations in a couple of weeks. Good night.